Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto trained by Might Guy for chunin exams. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by xXYamchaXx and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. I don't own Naruto or its characters. This is the start of a fixing up of this old story. The day marked a significant and memorable day for a group of Konoha shinobi. The preliminary rounds of the chunin exams had concluded and the victors now had a month to prepare. For these winners, this was a momentous step toward achieving the rank of chunin. It signified their ascent up the hierarchical ladder of shinobi careers. No longer mere team members, they would assume leadership positions and gain greater access to new missions. The occasion was a source of pride for these young shinobi. One particular shinobi was brimming with excitement beyond compare. Clad in vibrant orange, the bearer of the nine-tailed fox was practically bouncing with energy. Naruto's exuberance surpassed that of anyone else, if such a thing were even possible. Becoming a chunin held more significance for Naruto than for any other Leaf shinobi. It marked the initial stride towards Naruto's ultimate goal, becoming the Hokage of the Leaf Village. However, he acknowledged that his victory over Kiba had been rather fortuitous, resulting from a well-timed release of gas, an improbable occurrence. Now, he was set to face Neji, and he understood that relying on luck a second time was not a viable strategy. He recognized that his current state rendered him unprepared and vulnerable against formidable opponents like Neji and Gaara. He even harbored a private doubt about his chances against Sasuke, though he would never openly admit such uncertainty. Naruto needed to locate Kakashi immediately and embark on training without delay. He believed that intensive training over the next month would grant him the strength to overcome any obstacle standing between him and the title of chunin. And so, Naruto scoured the entire village in search of his mentor. However, Kakashi's elusiveness remained a recurring challenge. It took Naruto a full 2 hours to glean a lead, indicating Kakashi's presence at the hospital. Naruto dashed across town to reach him. Inside the hospital, Naruto scanned the surroundings before turning to the attendant stationed behind the desk. Meeting her gaze, he flashed a warm friendly smile and began, have you seen? Naruto, what brings you here? Are you visiting Sasuke? Kakashi's voice resonated as he approached. Hey Kakashi. When can we start training for the prelims? I'm eager to get started right away. It'll take lots of practice, but I know I can handle it, Naruto exclaimed, closing the gap between them. Kakashi's response was direct and devoid of hesitation. I'm sorry, but I won't be your instructor. I have other obligations. Naruto stared at Kakashi, momentarily taken aback. Could this be real? His mentor refusing to train him. How could Kakashi possibly have something more pressing than guiding his training? It felt wrong, inconceivable. I'm guessing you're focused on training Sasuke, right? Naruto retorted, his voice laced with bitterness. Kakashi's response remained unwavering. It's none of your concern. But, truth be told, that is indeed my intention. As for your training, I've arranged for you to work with Ibisu. Convincing him wasn't an easy feat. Naruto blinked, his mind racing. It was true, his mentor deemed him unworthy of instruction, reserving his guidance exclusively for Sasuke. Naruto realized this pattern had persisted since their days on Team 7, save for a few instances like the tree climbing exercise. Kakashi had predominantly devoted his time to training Sasuke, leaving Naruto and Sakura in the shadows. The irony of it all left Naruto bewildered. Kakashi was now pushing him to train under the watch of the self-proclaimed closet pervert. No, Naruto wouldn't accept that fate. He refused to be trained by anyone but Kakashi. Why him? He's a pervert and he's weak. I already took him down when we fought, Naruto protested vehemently. Naruto, you need to understand your weaknesses as a shinobi, Kakashi's words struck like a hammer. Your grasp of chakra control is lacking and you expend energy carelessly. Ibisu can help you address those shortcomings. Naruto's determination only grew stronger. No, I won't train with someone I can easily defeat. Fine. If Ibisu isn't suitable, find another mentor. But mark my words, if you don't, you'll be defeated by Neji. Whatever. Go tend to your precious Sasuke, Naruto fumed, storming out of the hospital. After a few moments, Naruto's mind cleared and he resolved to find a mentor who could prove Kakashi wrong. He needed someone capable of honing his skills to overcome Neji. He made a vow to demonstrate his strength to Kakashi, to show he was on par with Sasuke. Ideas swirled in Naruto's mind as he contemplated potential mentors among Konoha's jonin. Gurenai's fighting style didn't align, and the parents of the Ino Shikacho trio had distinct expertise. Asuma was busy with Shikamaru, and the rest were likely to decline. This left Naruto with one last option. Mito Guy, Lee's mentor. While Neji was Guy's student, he had pursued separate training due to differing taijutsu styles. Naruto was confident Guy could assist him, and he was determined to try. Surprisingly, locating Guy proved effortless. Within mere seconds, Naruto spotted Guy making his way toward the hospital, likely to see Lee. Guy, I need to ask you for a favor," Naruto stammered, his gaze fixed on Guy. "Why, if it isn't the embodiment of youth, Naruto? What can I do for you today?" Guy responded, his enthusiasm evident as always. "Well, Guy, I require assistance preparing for the next stage of the exam. Would you consider training me?" Naruto's approach was straightforward, believing honesty was key. "I regret to decline. Isn't my youthful rival, Kakashi, your instructor? Moreover, you'll be facing one of my students. It wouldn't be fair for me to aid you in defeating him," Guy reasoned. "Firstly, Kakashi refuses to train me. Secondly, your student hardly receives your guidance, and losing might teach him not to rely solely on his innate talent. It could be beneficial." I pondered Naruto's words, visibly considering the proposition. This was the first step in convincing him, and Naruto was ready to deliver the final persuasive blow. Think of it this way. There are two compelling reasons for you to mentor me. Firstly, by training me, you demonstrate that dedication and effort can triumph over innate genius, thus proving Lee's perspective. Secondly, view this as a challenge to establish your teaching prowess over Kakashi. Guiding me to victory in the exam tournament would cement your superiority as an instructor, allowing you to revel in that victory over Kakashi. Naruto, your youthful ardor has swayed me. I shall train you. We'll illustrate that Lee's beliefs hold true. However, be warned, my training regimen is arduous, far more demanding than my rivals. No problem. I can handle whatever you throw at me. We will see about that, won't we? Chapter 2. Training and Challenges. I don't own Naruto or its characters. Naruto found himself in a serene state, enjoying the pleasant dream unfolding before him. In this dream, he had soundly defeated Sasuke, leaving Sasuke in awe of his prowess. Furthermore, Sakura had confessed her long-hidden affection for him. To cap off this dream sequence, he had been bestowed the title of Hokage, succeeding the retiring elder. Everything was perfect, and he reveled in the blissful illusion. Then came an abrupt jarring sound, shattering the idyllic scene. Slowly, Naruto's eyes opened, only to be met with the most unwelcome sight: Mido Guy standing at his bedside, accompanied by a couple of imposing boxes. "What the Guy-sensei, what are you doing here? How did you even find my place?" Naruto groggily inquired, the world around him gradually coming into focus. "And seriously, do you realize what time it is?" Donning his characteristic enthusiasm, responded with a grin, "My youthful student, discovering your location was no challenge. As for the reason I'm here, it's time to commence your training. And, for the record, it's 5 a.m. Isn't that a tad early? You know, when people are supposed to sleep and stuff. Not if one seeks to best Neji and ascend to the exalted rank of chunin, my vibrant protege. Alright, give me 5 minutes, and I'll be ready." "Very well, my determined pupil. I'll await you in the kitchen, where the morning ambrosia known as prune juice awaits," Guy responded before making his exit. Naruto found himself reflecting on the previous day, which had led to this unlikely scenario. He let out a resigned sigh, understanding that this endeavor would be an arduous undertaking. However, he was determined not to let Kakashi or Sasuke have the final laugh. Even if it meant rising at 5 a.m., Naruto was committed to achieving victory. I couldn't help but smile when, 5 minutes later, he witnessed Naruto emerging from his room. The young shinobi was resolute and ready to confront the challenges ahead, imbued with the same fiery determination Guy had witnessed during Naruto's encounter with Kiba. In the subsequent hours, Naruto diligently came and went, completing the assigned deliveries. With each return, he appeared progressively fatigued yet unwavering in his resolve. Guy shadowed his progress, recognizing Naruto's steadfast dedication. As the morning sun advanced, Naruto's steps seemed a bit heavier, but his resolve remained resolute. I observed, silently impressed by Naruto's spirit. The designated time elapsed, and Naruto returned, panting heavily but triumphant. "Sensei, how did I do? Did I manage to finish on time?" he inquired between breaths. Checking the time, Guy responded, "Apologies, Naruto, it's 8:35. You missed the mark by an hour and a half. Nevertheless, for your initial attempt, you exhibited a remarkable display of youthful spirit." Naruto's expression shifted from exhaustion to frustration. "Darn it. Sensei, I promise I'll do better tomorrow. You have my word on that. Believe it." I blinked, taken aback by Naruto's earnest determination and commitment to improvement. A proud smile formed on his face, and he chuckled through his tears, acknowledging the resolute determination of his pupil. "Sensei, you really need to work on controlling your emotions. It's embarrassing," Naruto commented matter-of-factly, regarding Guy's emotional display. "If you're going to be my teacher, you can't be embarrassing me in front of the whole town or Sakura." Guy, embracing the spirit of the challenge, conceded, "Very well, Naruto. If you continue to put forth the same effort you showed today, I'll work on my emotional control. And let's solidify this agreement with a challenge. If I falter first, I'll sponsor a food festival for the entire town. Deal? Sure, that works, Naruto agreed, slightly perplexed by the unexpected turn. Alright, on to the next phase of your training, Guy announced, changing gears. While you were occupied, I took the liberty of preparing something other than ramen for you. Feast upon this nourishment, you required. Naruto devoured the plate of eggs with astonishing speed, his ravenous appetite clearly undiminished. Next, we embark on a journey, Guy declared, indicating the next stage. Sure, are we heading to your training ground for some epic jutsu? Naruto inquired, exuding excitement. No, we're headed to a farm, where you'll engage in additional labor, Guy revealed with an amused grin. Of course, Naruto responded, rolling his eyes. Before long, Naruto and Guy found themselves standing before an open field. The setting seemed rather unremarkable, prompting Naruto to shoot Guy a bewildered glance. Here's your challenge, Naruto. Should you triumph, I'll treat you to a meal at Ichiraku Ramen Bar, Guy proposed, drawing Naruto's attention with a tantalizing prospect. Alright, I'm in. What's the challenge? I'll complete it in no time if ramen is involved, Naruto declared confidently. Your task is to cultivate and prepare this field for planting. And just to keep things interesting, you must do so using your bare hands alone. Naruto's confidence wavered. You must be kidding. That's beyond insane. Well, if you're not up for the challenge, remember that winning is the only way to secure that ramen feast, Guy retorted playfully. Fine, I'll get started. You better have those bowls of ramen ready. Naruto proclaimed as he marched toward his designated task. Also, no shadow clones allowed this time, that would make it far too easy, Guy added as he activated a summoning jutsu. The crimson turtle materialized out of thin air. Ninkum, keep a watchful eye on Naruto. I have some errands to attend to in town, Guy instructed before departing. Naruto couldn't help but shake his head at the odd sight of a red turtle observing him. Yet, the promise of free ramen propelled him to embrace the laborious challenge before him. Guy ventured into town, confident in his estimation of the time it would take for Naruto to complete the task. He was resolute in ensuring Naruto's growth, fueled by the memory of Kakashi's bet. As Guy walked, he encountered a familiar cloud of smoke. He couldn't help but react with bemusement, for he had never imagined this scenario unfolding. Well, Kakashi, my spirited rival, what brings you here? Are you here to accept my challenge this time? Guy jested, recognizing his enigmatic counterpart even amidst the smoke. No, that would be futile. I've come to inquire why are you training Uzumaki Naruto? Kakashi's voice emerged from the dissipating smoke. Because he sought guidance, and because his heart is ablaze with the fires of youth. But pray tell, why does it matter to you? You declined to train him yourself. Not true, I recommended Abisu as his tutor. What could you possibly offer him? Isn't he slated to face one of your own students in the chunin exam? What kind of instructor trains a student who will soon stand against his own teammates? I maintained his composure, determined not to yield to emotion and lose the bet. Simple, one who instructs Konoha shinobi when their designated mentors abstain. But enough of this. Beneath your concerns lies a fear that my training will surpass your own efforts. You're apprehensive that Naruto will outshine your cherished Sasuke. Kakashi scoffed, dismissing Guy's assertion. You're utterly deluded. That has no bearing on my inquiry. Very well, if you seek to extricate yourself from this, let's propose a wager. If Naruto triumphs in the tournament, I emerge victorious. Conversely, if Sasuke prevails, you shall claim victory. Should Naruto win, he'll be placed under my tutelage. And if Sasuke emerges victorious, I shall refrain from issuing any further challenges. Find someone else to engage in your whimsical wagers. It'll be a relief not to entertain your exasperating challenges anymore. As Guy continued his training, he knew that Kakashi's reaction was a clear sign of concern. Determined to make Naruto stronger, Guy pressed on, resolved to fulfill the promise he had made to his young student. Hours later, Guy returned to find Naruto sprawled out, resting beside the completed field. Ninkum, the vigilant turtle, remained by his side. This one's impressive. He completed the task fairly swiftly. I sense a remarkable potential within him, Ninkum commented approvingly. I grinned, acknowledging Naruto's fortitude. Indeed, my spirited student possesses an abundance of untapped potential. He's preparing to face an upcoming challenge with the same verve he displayed earlier. Chapter 3. The continuing training. Naruto awoke to a familiar sight the next morning, Guy marching energetically toward his house. Learning from the previous day, Naruto had prepared in advance, ready to tackle the milk and newspaper deliveries within the allotted 2 hours. He greeted his sensei with a knowing smile. Hey there, Guy-sensei. Same training as yesterday? I returned Naruto's smile with a small smirk. Yes and no. Today, you will repeat the morning routine and then we'll build upon it. Also, I've got something special for you to wear. From his bag, Guy produced a green uniform, not the one he and Lee wore, but similar, just orange instead of green, with some added black accents. Thanks, sensei. This is cool, Naruto exclaimed, genuinely appreciating the gift. Careful not to thank me too soon, my youthful student, Guy teased, tossing the uniform to Naruto. Naruto reached out to catch it, only to realize that it was surprisingly heavy. It weighed quite a bit more than he expected. Puzzled, he looked up at Guy. You're probably wondering why it's so heavy. Well, it's a weighted uniform. You'll be training with weights, much like the ones Lee and I wear. But don't worry, it's not that bad and definitely easier than our leg weights. Naruto sighed, anticipating the challenge. So, I'm guessing I still have to finish the deliveries in 2 hours, right? Exactly, my youthful student. It'll be tough, but I have faith in your youthful spirit. I'm sure Sasuke could manage it effortlessly. I'll prove that I can do anything Sasuke can do, just you wait and see. Naruto declared as he headed into his room to change. Within moments, Naruto emerged wearing the new uniform, ready for another round of deliveries. Guy nodded in approval. Well done. So, what's your time today? Checking his wristwatch, Guy reported, it's about 8:55. Unfortunately, no time for a break today. We need to move on to the next part of the training. We're headed to the farms. Got it, sensei, Naruto acknowledged with a hint of fatigue in his voice. Reflecting on his progress, Naruto had improved his time by 20 minutes compared to the previous day. It was a decent improvement, especially considering the weight of the uniform and the brief interaction with Sakura. Still, he felt determined to do even better. He needed to show Sakura that he was capable of surpassing Sasuke. Upon reaching the farm, Naruto launched himself into the tasks with newfound energy. He toiled away, driven by thoughts of proving himself and earning Sakura's admiration. As he worked, his mind was consumed by thoughts of surpassing Sasuke and becoming Hokage one day. I observed Naruto's efforts with a sense of pride. The boy's dedication was evident and Guy's motivation to train him only grew stronger. He hoped that Jiraiya could provide insights into Naruto's chakra control issue, but for now, he focused on Naruto's training. As the morning's farm work concluded, Naruto found himself exhausted yet satisfied. His hard work had paid off, completing the tasks 20 minutes faster than the previous day. Guy acknowledged his progress with a nod. Naruto, this afternoon's training will focus on chakra control. Both Jiraiya and I will be your instructors. Take a break now, rest up for the upcoming challenge. We'll meet at 1 p.m. by the riverbank in training area 25. Understood, sensei. I'll be there, Naruto replied, looking forward to the next phase of his training. Meanwhile, Guy made his way to the hospital, realizing he hadn't visited Lee in a few days. He found his enthusiastic student lying in bed, clearly eager to recover. Guy-sensei. How splendid to see you. I'm recovering well, and soon I'll be able to resume my shinobi training. Lee exclaimed with his signature enthusiasm. Guy smiled at Lee's enthusiasm, feeling reassured about his student's recovery. You'll be back in action soon enough, Lee. Just make sure not to push yourself too hard while you're still healing. The conversation took a turn, and Guy felt compelled to address a sensitive topic. Lee, there's something I need to tell you. I've taken on a new student for the upcoming chunin exam. Naruto Uzumaki approached me, and I couldn't turn down his youthful determination. Lee's smile remained unwavering. Guy-sensei, I trust your judgment. Naruto is a good person, and I want him to succeed in the exam. He'll show Neji what I've always wanted to prove, that hard work can surpass natural talent. Guy's worries were alleviated as Lee's support shone through. He knew he could count on Lee's understanding and encouragement. Back in his room, Naruto devoured the remaining ramen packets before setting an alarm to ensure he'd arrive on time for the afternoon training. As he reached the training area, anticipation surged within him. Standing before him were Guy and a man who introduced himself as Jiraiya the Toad Hermit. Hey there, Naruto. I've heard a lot about you. I'm Jiraiya, the man said, striking a pose. Naruto's excitement grew as he realized the significance of Jiraiya's presence. Oh, you're one of the legendary Sannin. Pleased to meet you. The conversation took a serious turn as Jiraiya inquired about Naruto's previous chakra control exercises. Naruto explained his experience with Kakashi's tree climbing exercise. Good, now I want you to gather all your chakra, Jiraiya instructed, his gaze fixed on Naruto. Naruto complied, feeling a sense of ease as he gathered his chakra. To his surprise, it flowed smoothly, much easier than before. He looked to Jiraiya and Guy with a mixture of confusion and curiosity. Very interesting, Jiraiya remarked. Now, Naruto, I want you to try something for me. Focus your chakra into your hand and punch this tree. Guy and Naruto watched as Jiraiya struck the tree with his chakra-infused fist, leaving a visible impact. The display left Naruto intrigued and eager to learn. Alright, Naruto, it's your turn. Use your shadow clones to practice this technique. They'll help you learn faster, Guy advised. Naruto's confusion surfaced once again. Shadow clones. What do they have to do with training? I chuckled. Kakashi didn't tell you. Shadow clones have a unique ability. When a clone disperses, it shares all the experiences and knowledge it gained with you. It's a powerful way to learn. With newfound understanding, Naruto created a shadow clone, following Guy's instructions. The clone observed Guy's fingers behind his back and then dispersed. As it vanished, Naruto gained the knowledge that Guy had held up one finger. Got it, sensei. Let's do this. Naruto exclaimed, creating multiple clones and setting them to work on mastering Chakra and advanced punches. Guy and Jiraiya observed Naruto's progress, content with his dedication. As the clones trained diligently, Naruto felt a renewed determination to master this technique. By the end of the session, Naruto's chakra control had improved significantly. Guy praised his efforts and announced, "Great job, Naruto. That's enough for today. We'll continue tomorrow. For now, get some rest. You've earned it." With a sense of accomplishment, Naruto left the training area, eager to rest and prepare for the next day's challenges. Guy exchanged a knowing look with Jiraiya, confident that Naruto's potential was beginning to shine. Chapter 4. A mysterious encounter. Naruto stretched his arms and took a deep breath as he stood up. The day had been long and tiring, but he was becoming accustomed to the rigorous training regimen. He had spent the past week and a half undergoing the same morning routine, and for the past 9 days, he had added weighted training to his regimen. As he gazed over the fields, he couldn't deny that the work was challenging, yet it was gradually becoming more manageable. Becoming a chunin required hard work, and Naruto was determined to give it his all. With the afternoon training session looming ahead, Naruto decided to head home for a short break. He had a little over 2 hours to rest before the next round of training. Normally, he would indulge in his favorite pastime, devouring bowls of ramen or perhaps catch a nap. However, today he felt different. Instead of his usual routine, he found himself wandering aimlessly through the village. Naruto greeted familiar faces along the way, surprised by how many people he knew. Konoha felt peaceful, and he reflected on his journey so far. Despite the challenges, he was proud to call Konoha his home and was determined to protect it and the people he cared about. His training wasn't just about becoming a chunin, it was about becoming strong enough to safeguard his village and loved ones. Near the hero stone, Naruto's attention was drawn to an unusual sight, a figure leaning against the back of the stone. He approached cautiously and noticed that the person wore a full head mask, reminiscent of the Anbu masks. Naruto studied the masked man, wondering who he could be. Just as he was about to approach, the man suddenly stood up. "I think I know that face. You're Naruto, right?" The masked man said. Naruto raised an eyebrow, both intrigued and wary. "Yeah, who are you? And what's with the creepy mask?" The masked man chuckled. "My name isn't important. As for the mask, I think it looks cool. I heard you'll be facing Neji in the chunin exam. How's your training going?" Naruto replied, "I've got some great teachers, Jiraiya and Guy. Jiraiya's a bit of a perv, but he's tough. And Guy, well, he's kind of crazy, but he's awesome. Jiraiya, huh? He can be a handful. And Guy, the Taijutsu master. I bet you're learning Taijutsu. You know, I've got a technique that might help you. Have you heard of the body flicker jutsu?" "Yeah, it's a chakra-based move that lets you move really fast, right?" Naruto replied. "That's right. It's simple in concept but can be quite powerful, especially against certain opponents. Want me to show you?" Naruto's curiosity was piqued. "Sure, show me." The masked man demonstrated the body flicker jutsu, disappearing and reappearing with incredible speed. Naruto was impressed by the display of skill. The masked man stopped in front of Naruto. "Interested in learning it?" the masked man asked. "Of course. After seeing that, how could I say no?" Naruto exclaimed. The masked man explained the technique in detail, focusing on chakra control and speed. Naruto attempted the move several times, but struggled to get it right. Determined, he continued practicing until the masked man decided to leave. As Naruto continued practicing, Guy and Jiraiya waited at the training ground, growing concerned as their student was late. Guy's worry escalated, but Jiraiya seemed more preoccupied with a group of young women by the river. Eventually, Guy left to search for Naruto, checking all his usual hangouts. When he finally found Naruto in a clearing, Guy observed from a distance, wanting to understand what was happening. Naruto repeated the body flicker jutsu, making impressive progress. Guy was surprised by Naruto's proficiency, realizing that he had learned a more advanced form of the technique. Guy decided to approach Naruto, feigning sternness. "Naruto, what are you doing? You missed training," Guy scolded. Naruto quickly explained that a mysterious masked man had taught him the technique. Guy questioned Naruto about the man's identity, but Naruto couldn't provide much information. Guy decided to trust Naruto's words and called off training for the day. In the days that followed, Naruto's training sessions with Guy and Jiraiya became increasingly demanding. Each day brought new challenges, pushing Naruto to his limits and beyond. Guy and Jiraiya were relentless in their pursuit of molding Naruto into a formidable shinobi. The mysterious masked man never reappeared, leaving Naruto to focus on the tasks at hand. Naruto faced various trials, honing his physical and chakra control skills. Guy's training sessions were intense and focused on enhancing Naruto's taijutsu abilities. From sparring with Guy to practicing complex forms, Naruto's movements became more fluid and precise with each passing day. The heavy weights that had once been a burden now felt like a natural part of his training routine. Jiraiya, on the other hand, concentrated on refining Naruto's chakra manipulation and teaching him advanced techniques. Naruto spent hours practicing chakra control exercises, perfecting his ability to gather and release chakra with precision. Jiraiya also introduced Naruto to various elemental jutsu, teaching him how to channel his chakra into powerful attacks. As the days turned into weeks, Naruto's progress was evident. His determination and unwavering commitment to training impressed both Guy and Jiraiya. Naruto's chakra control improved significantly, allowing him to perform complex jutsu with greater ease. His speed and agility in taijutsu battles grew exponentially, and he became more adept at strategizing during combat. Through it all, Naruto embraced the challenges and pushed himself to new heights. Guy's motto of hard work and effort triumph over natural talent resonated deeply with him. He was determined to prove that his unyielding determination could overcome any obstacle, even when facing opponents with superior bloodlines or prodigious skills. As the chunin exam finals approached, Naruto's training intensified further. Guy and Jiraiya crafted specialized training regimes to prepare him for the upcoming battles. Naruto's resolve was unshakable, and he approached each day with the same fire that had ignited his journey. The village began to take notice of Naruto's rapid growth and unbreakable spirit. Fellow shinobi watched in awe as he pushed his limits and showed remarkable progress. Naruto's friends and peers cheered him on, inspired by his dedication and determination. With the chunin exam finals on the horizon, Naruto knew that he was ready to face whatever challenges awaited him. The mysteries of the masked man were put aside as Naruto focused solely on his training and the upcoming battles. He was prepared to show everyone, including himself, that hard work and perseverance could lead to greatness. The morning light filtered through the window, casting a soft glow over Naruto's room. He stretched his arms above his head, letting out a yawn as he blinked the sleep from his eyes. Slowly, his gaze shifted to the clock on the nightstand. The numbers came into focus, and he shot up in bed as the realization hit him it was the day he had been waiting for. The start of the chunin exam's third phase, the day of his match against Neji. Without a moment to waste, Naruto sprang out of bed with a burst of energy. Gone were the days of laziness, he was different now, driven by determination and a burning desire to prove himself. As he cleaned up and got dressed in his best orange jumpsuit, he felt a surge of anticipation. Today was his chance to show the world just how far he had come. Grabbing his headband, Naruto paused for a moment. It was the same headband Iruka had given him after he had saved him, a symbol of his growth and progress. With a determined grin, he secured it around his forehead and headed downstairs. The aroma of breakfast greeted him as he entered the kitchen. Guy and Jiraiya were already at the table, and Naruto wasted no time in joining them. The spread before him was impressive, and Naruto dug in with enthusiasm. "Hey, who's responsible for this feast?" Naruto asked between bites. Guy puffed out his chest proudly. "This breakfast is infused with youthful energy. A true testament to my cooking skills." Jiraiya chuckled. "Well, I may have pulled a few strings to make it happen." Naruto laughed, enjoying the lively banter between his teachers. As he devoured his meal, thoughts of the upcoming tournament filled his mind. He was ready to prove himself, to show everyone his growth, and to overcome any challenges that came his way. After breakfast, Naruto was practically bouncing with excitement. He bid his teachers farewell and dashed out the door, his steps quick and purposeful. He exchanged greetings with familiar faces on his way to the stadium, the anticipation building with every step. "Iruka-sensei. I'm gonna rock this tournament," Naruto called out as he passed by. "Good luck, Naruto. Show them what you're made of," Iruka replied with a proud smile. Finally arriving at the stadium, Naruto's heart raced as he saw the massive crowd gathering. He imagined the cheers and excitement that would fill the air once he stepped into the arena. As he reached the entrance, he was surprised to find the mysterious figure who had helped him before. "Hey, you again," Naruto exclaimed, his eyes lighting up. The figure handed him a scroll, a knowing smile beneath the mask. "Read this right before your match. It'll serve you well." Naruto accepted the scroll with gratitude, feeling a surge of determination. He thanked the masked figure and stepped into the stadium, the cheers of the crowd washing over him. He followed the instructions, checked in with the judges, and performed a quick warm-up routine. Walking onto the field, Naruto was awestruck by the sea of spectators. The Hokage's speech faded into the background as he focused on the moment. Once he was guided to the waiting area, he couldn't help but visualize his victory over Neji. His thoughts were interrupted by a familiar voice. "Naruto, you ready for this? Neji won't be a pushover," Shikamaru drawled lazily. Naruto grinned, his determination shining through. "Yeah, I'm pumped for this. Let's both show them what the Leaf Shinobi are made of." Shikamaru rolled his eyes, but a hint of a smile tugged at his lips. "Troublesome, but yeah, we'll give it our best." The arena buzzed with anticipation as the spectators took their seats. Among the crowd, Jiraiya and Guy exchanged glances, their thoughts turning to Naruto's training over the past month. "I've got a feeling Naruto's really going to shine today," Jiraiya remarked with a grin. I nodded enthusiastically. His dedication and spirit have grown exponentially. He's a true testament to youthful energy. Over by the railing, Tenten and Lee leaned against the barrier, their expressions pensive. "Lee, my friend, while we recover, we can focus on supporting our fellow Leaf Shinobi," Tenten said, a determined glint in her eyes. Lee nodded in agreement, his bandaged arm resting on his chest. "You're right, Tenten. We'll cheer them on with the power of our hearts." On the other side of the arena, Sakura watched the bustling crowd, her thoughts torn between Naruto and Sasuke's matches. "Naruto, I know you'll give it your all," she whispered, her fingers unconsciously gripping the railing. "And Sasuke, wherever you are, I hope you're okay." A few rows behind her, Ino chimed in. "Sakura, do you think they'll both win?" Sakura turned to her friend with a confident smile. "Of course they will, Ino. We know how strong Naruto has become, and Sasuke, well, he's Sasuke." Nearby, Asuma stood with his hands in his pockets, his gaze fixed on the arena. He thought about Shikamaru's growth over the past month. Shikamaru's really stepped up his game. "I'm proud of how far he's come," he mused aloud. Hinata stood a little apart from the rest, her eyes focused on the arena floor. She couldn't help but think about Naruto's upcoming match against Neji. Her heart pounded with a mix of worry and excitement. "Naruto, you've worked so hard. I believe in you." As the first matches were about to begin, the various observers engaged in casual conversation, sharing their thoughts on the upcoming battles. I leaned over to Jiraiya. "Do you think Neji's Hyuga techniques will be a match for Naruto's newfound skills?" Jiraiya stroked his chin thoughtfully. "Neji's undoubtedly powerful, but Naruto's got that unpredictable fighting style. It'll be interesting." Tenten turned to Lee. "I wonder how Shino's going to do. He's so mysterious." Lee nodded. "And Kankuro's puppets. They're quite the challenge. I hope our friends give it their all." Asuma glanced at Hinata. "Hinata, are you looking forward to Naruto's match?" Hinata's cheeks turned a light shade of pink. "Yes, Asuma-sensei. I believe Naruto can overcome anything." Chapter 6. Tournament Day. Neji vs Naruto. The atmosphere in the arena was electric as Naruto and Neji assumed their positions on the battlefield. A tangible tension hung in the air, as though the crowd collectively held its breath, eagerly awaiting the impending clash between these two formidable combatants. The transformation in their appearances since the start of the battle was striking. Naruto's usually vibrant sun-kissed hair was now matted with sweat, and his whisker-like scars seemed more pronounced under the relentless pressure of combat. His eyes, once brimming with youthful exuberance, were now focused and determined, like a warrior hardened by experience. Neji, on the other hand, remained the picture of poise and composure. His long flowing hair barely shifted as he gracefully evaded Naruto's attacks. His Byakugan eyes, like orbs of piercing clarity, scanned the battlefield with unwavering precision. Over the course of the battle, a fine sheen of sweat had developed on his brow, a subtle testament to the intensity of the fight. Naruto initiated the battle with a burst of action, conjuring 3 shadow clones that moved with synchronized precision. The clones, bearing identical physical appearances to Naruto, dashed forward to encircle Neji. It was a mesmerizing display of Naruto's improved control over his jutsu. Neji's Byakugan eyes narrowed in response, like pools of pale opal under a clear sky. His gaze, analytical and unyielding, scrutinized the clones' movements, revealing the tiniest details in their forms and attacks. His appearance remained almost unchanged, his serene expression belying the storm of thought swirling beneath the surface. "Shadow clones, huh? Trying to overwhelm me with numbers, Naruto." Neji's voice carried a hint of amusement as his eyes darted between the advancing clones. The battle raged on, and as Naruto observed Neji's every move, he couldn't help but be impressed by the subtle shifts in Neji's appearance. Neji's initial confidence had evolved into an unbreakable determination. His movements, fluid and precise, seemed to be carved from sheer elegance. Naruto's determination burned brighter as he studied Neji's fighting style. The physical descriptions of Neji's agile dodges and flawless parries only solidified Naruto's belief in his strategy. He was no longer just a brash ninja relying on brute strength, he had become a tactician, analyzing his opponent's every move. He's fast, but I can't let that intimidate me, Naruto thought, his determination igniting like a roaring fire. The clones pressed their relentless assault, forcing Neji to move and dodge, but he did so with an unmatched grace that spoke volumes about his skill. Naruto knew that direct confrontation wouldn't suffice against such a formidable foe. With a sudden burst of speed, Naruto's actual body joined the fray, a whirlwind of motion and changing appearance, as he launched a surprise attack from an unexpected angle. Neji's Byakugan picked up on the movement, but Naruto's speed was such that it presented a formidable challenge to anticipate. As Naruto closed the distance, Neji's eyes, still as clear and piercing as ever, widened ever so slightly. Naruto's fist came perilously close to breaching Neji's defense before he executed a swift fluid shift of his body, utilizing the momentum to launch a sweeping kick at Neji's legs. Neji reacted with lightning reflexes, raising his forearm to block the kick. The impact sent vibrations through his arm, and a hint of strain appeared in his otherwise composed expression. It was a minute but noticeable change in his appearance, a testament to the force behind Naruto's attack. Naruto's strategy was becoming transparent, he was testing Neji's reactions, scrutinizing his defenses, and chipping away at the wall of confidence Neji had built. It was a battle not just of physical prowess but of mental fortitude, of each ninja's belief in their unchangeable destiny. Neji, still composed, regained his balance, a flicker of annoyance crossing his Byakugan-empowered eyes. Impressive strategy, Naruto, but it won't be enough to defeat me. Naruto grinned, beads of sweat clinging to his whiskered cheeks like pearls. I'm just getting started, Neji. With Naruto's determined eyes never leaving Neji, the battle continued, each clash revealing more about their physical appearances and fighting styles. Naruto's shadow clones persisted in their calculated assault, like copies of his unwavering resolve, while Neji's Byakugan followed their every move, a testament to his honed skills. Neji, with his ever-stoic appearance, continued to parry and evade Naruto's attacks effortlessly. The crowd watched in awe as Naruto's shadow clones lunged from different angles, testing Neji's ability to react swiftly. Neji's Byakugan allowed him to track the movements of each clone, and he countered with an elegance that spoke of his mastery. However, Naruto's unwavering determination shone through as he adapted his strategy. He had observed a subtle pattern of split-second delay in Neji's dodge to the left, a slight hesitation before evading to the right. He's good, but he's not invincible, Naruto mused, his appearance betraying a growing confidence as he formulated a daring plan in his mind. The battle continued, each move and counter-move an intricate dance of physicality and strategy. Naruto's determination and analysis of Neji's fighting style led to a pivotal moment. With a burst of speed, Naruto's real body dashed forward, his movement swift and unpredictable. Neji's eyes focused on Naruto's approach, his keen senses picking up on the change. As Naruto closed in, he abruptly shifted his weight to the left, mimicking the motion that had revealed Neji's blind spot. Neji's instincts kicked in, and he began to shift his guard to block from the left. It was the opening Naruto had been waiting for. In that split second, Naruto's foot swept out in a low kick, targeting Neji's right leg. Neji's eyes widened as he realized his mistake, but it was too late. Naruto's kick struck true, sweeping Neji's leg out from under him. Neji stumbled, momentarily losing his balance, and Naruto seized the opportunity. With a lightning-fast spin, Naruto landed a powerful strike to Neji's midsection. The impact sent Neji sliding back several feet, and the crowd erupted into cheers. Naruto's heart pounded with exhilaration as he stepped back, his eyes never leaving Neji's. The Hyuga prodigy slowly regained his footing, his appearance now showing a mixture of surprise and realization, a break in his otherwise unyielding facade. Nice move, Naruto, Neji admitted, a hint of respect in his voice. You exploited my blind spot. Naruto grinned, sweat beading on his forehead, a testament to his physical exertion. Told you I'd find a way. The two shinobi circled each other once more, the intensity of the battle reaching its peak. Naruto's strategy had paid off, and he had managed to pierce Neji's defense. The crowd buzzed with excitement, fully immersed in the spectacle before them. As the match raged on, Naruto and Neji clashed with unyielding determination. Each strike, each dodge, and each counterattack showcased their skill and resolve. The arena was a stage for their rivalry, a testament to their growth as shinobi. As the intense battle continued, Naruto's mind raced with possibilities. He knew he had to keep pushing his limits if he wanted to overcome Neji's formidable skills. Drawing on his determination and the training he had undergone, Naruto formulated a daring plan that combined 3 different techniques to their greatest effects. Naruto's blue eyes blazed with determination as he drew upon the chakra of the 9 tails within him. The air around him crackled with energy as he tapped into the immense power dormant within his very being. Naruto's physical presence seemed to grow, his aura radiating with an undeniable intensity, a change in his appearance that was impossible to ignore. Neji's Byakugan widened slightly, sensing the overwhelming chakra that Naruto was channeling. He adjusted his stance, his gaze fixed on his determined opponent. Naruto's risky move had caught Neji's attention, and he could sense the imminent threat. With a deep breath, Naruto initiated the body flicker technique, utilizing the speed-enhancing jutsu he had learned. In an instant, he disappeared from Neji's line of sight, leaving only a blur in his wake. Neji's eyes darted around, tracking Naruto's movements as he struggled to keep up with the sudden burst of speed. Then, Naruto's form materialized before Neji, his momentum carrying him forward with incredible velocity. As he closed the distance between them, Naruto's right leg shot out in a swift powerful arc. His foot connected with Neji's side, sending shockwaves through the air. The Leaf Hurricane Kick, a move he had honed through relentless training, hit its mark with precision. The impact was fierce, and Neji's defenses wavered under the onslaught. Naruto's chakra-infused strike landed squarely, forcing Neji to stagger backward, his breath momentarily taken away. The crowd erupted in cheers, their excitement matching the intensity of the battle unfolding before them. Naruto's blue eyes gleamed with triumph as he executed the combination to its fullest effect. He had utilized the Nine Tails chakra to enhance his strength, the body flicker technique to close the distance in an instant, and the Leaf Hurricane Kick to deliver a devastating blow. His strategy had worked flawlessly, showcasing the culmination of his growth and determination. As Neji recovered from the impact, his gaze locked onto Naruto with renewed focus. The battle was far from over, and Neji's resolve remained unshaken. Naruto had proven himself to be a formidable opponent, but Neji's skills were not to be underestimated. The clash between the two shinobi continued, each move and countermove a testament to their unwavering determination to emerge victorious. As the dust settled from the powerful clash, Naruto and Neji found themselves facing each other once more. Their breaths were heavy, and the intensity of their battle hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. Naruto's determined gaze met Neji's stern expression, and he couldn't help but speak his mind. "Neji, your view of destiny is all wrong. You believe that your fate is sealed, that you're trapped by something you can't change. But that's not true. I've been through tough times too, and I've learned that hard work, determination, and the choices we make can change our paths." Neji's Byakugan eyes bore into Naruto's, his resolve unwavering. "You speak of changing destiny, but you're just a fool who can't see the bigger picture. The Hyuga clan's fate is predetermined by our bloodline. There's no escaping it." Naruto's expression hardened as he retorted, "No one decides my fate except for me. I've faced hardships and setbacks, but I've never given up. I've trained tirelessly to become stronger, to prove that anyone can rise above their circumstances. And today, I'll show you what hard work can achieve." With newfound determination, Naruto focused his chakra and activated the body flicker technique once more. But this time, he incorporated the primary locus principle he had learned during his training. His form became a blur as he darted around the arena, leaving afterimages in his wake. Neji's Byakugan eyes strained to track Naruto's movements, but the sheer speed and precision of Naruto's technique made it nearly impossible. Naruto seemed to be everywhere at once, his presence shifting unpredictably. Suddenly, Naruto appeared before Neji, his fist aimed directly at Neji's blind spot, the one weakness that Naruto had astutely observed earlier in the match. Neji's eyes widened in realization, but Naruto's strike was too fast, too overwhelming. The force of the blow connected with Neji's side, and a shockwave reverberated through the arena. Neji staggered back, his defenses breached by Naruto's skillful maneuver. The impact left Neji momentarily winded, his confidence shaken. Naruto's words echoed in his mind, challenging his beliefs and pushing him to question the very foundation of his outlook. The crowd erupted into cheers, their excitement echoing Naruto's triumph. Naruto stood his ground, his chest heaving as he faced Neji with unyielding resolve. "Neji, this is my answer to your misguided view of destiny. I've worked hard to get here, and I won't let anyone belittle the effort I've put in. Our paths are not set in stone, we have the power to shape our own futures." Neji's eyes flickered, a mix of frustration and contemplation clouding his expression. Naruto's words had struck a chord within him, challenging his convictions and forcing him to reevaluate his beliefs. Chapter 7 Tournament Day 1. Odd happenings and Shikamaru victorious. Naruto looked at the victory he had just achieved and let off a large smile. He had done it, he had won against Neji. He had pulled off the victory which no one else though could win. Still, at a close run thing as true as far from assured. Naruto looked across the arena floor at his rival who had just defeated. Naruto hoped that he would be able to now see past that his own fate was decided already. Naruto then made his way up to the waiting area. Naruto landed on his second jump right past the bar into the contestants' waiting area. As he looked at the other waiting competitors, he gave off a large smile, looking in the direction of a number of his fellow competitors. He could tell that they were preparing themselves for their own matches, most focused of all was Shino. Shino was always quiet, but now he looked extremely focused on the fight which be ahead of him. Naruto hoped that his fellow Leaf Shinobi would win his match, heck he wished all of his fellow Leaf Shinobi would win their matches. Especially the next one, it would be between Gaara and Sasuke. Even he knew that this was the match that everyone was here to see. Man, you did get good, Naruto. Naruto heard turning left and noticed Shikamaru sitting leaning on the dividing bar. I guess you're not one of us losers anymore, are you? Shikamaru, what do you mean by that? Naruto asked, confused by what Shikamaru had meant by the statement. Never mind, it would just be too troublesome to explain it, Shikamaru said, shaking his head. Well, where is Sasuke? Do you know why he had not shown up yet? Good question, I don't know, where could that stuck-up jerk be? Naruto replied. The two stood waiting to see what would happen. Naruto then figured out what Shikamaru had mean in his statement. Naruto was a bit surprised for a second, he never thought anyone saw him in the same group as themselves. He felt a small smile creep across his face as he thought about it. Then his mind returned to the problem at hand. Each one of wondered what would happen with this situation. Naruto and Shikamaru were as curious about this match as the rest of the fans were in their seats. Even some of the big wigs who came to see this exam did so, only to see Gaara and Sasuke fight it out. Guy, who had been celebrating Naruto victory in the stands a few seconds earlier, was now wondering where his rival and his rival's protege were at. As they waited, people began to hear strange rumors of the possibilities of things that could have happened to the young shinobi. Suddenly the judge on the arena cleared his voice, looking around at everyone in the stands. I am sorry to tell you that the current match has been postponed until later. It will be moved to the end of the round in order for both contestants to be able to make it to the stadium on time, Genma announced loudly, so we may now move on. May we please have Shino Aburam and Kankuro so we may begin with the next match. Shikamaru, who do you think will win this matchup? Naruto asked with a curious look on his face. I have no clue, they are both very well matched, but then I don't know that much about either one of their fighting styles. Naruto noticed Shino move to get into the arena when he noticed Kankuro raise his hand up. Judge, I have agreed to forfeit this match, I don't feel up to it, Kankuro announced with a very disappointed look in his eyes, as if he really didn't want to give up the match. Alright, that makes Shino the winner of this matchup, Genma replied quickly, so now we may move on to the next match, may we have Shikamaru Nara and Temari. Oh man, I might as well give up now, Shikamaru said to himself quietly. What, you're up Shikamaru, what are you doing? Here, go kick her ass, Naruto yelled, pushing Shikamaru into the arena. Naruto smiled, he knew that Shikamaru could find a way to win this match. He hoped that his friend would show all of the skills that he normally seemed to hide except in rare instances, like his prelim match with that sound girl. He was surprised though that he did not go on the attack and just stood still as the fight began. What was up with this? Why was Shikamaru not going on the attack already? It looked like he wanted to be hit by the sand girl's attack. Naruto then sighed as he noticed Shikamaru run away from the girl. What was he thinking? He could not win this match by just running away, he would have to fight her at some point. Naruto watched carefully, looking for any attack Shikamaru could make, but he ran again when the sand girl attacked him. What was wrong with him? How was he thinking he was going to be a chunin with this performance? Naruto then noticed a thin shadow running at Temari, and he let off a smile. Shikamaru had planned out his attack, and now he was going to attack her. It was too short though, and he was forced to run from the girl again. Naruto just sighed, this had to be the oddest fight he had seen. It was as if it was more of a board game than a fight. Time went by as the two moved around the arena, Shikamaru at the edge and Temari near the center to avoid Shikamaru's shadow. Naruto then noticed Shikamaru throw his jacket into the air as it explained, he noticed that it dropped a number of kunai with explosive tags on it. When the kunai hit the ground, they blew up, creating only a large hole, but also forcing Temari away from the center. Shikamaru had already launched out his shadow at her before the move and was finally able to capture Temari in his shadow. Shikamaru then ran at her in such a way that she was forced to run at him in kind, and when he threw his left hand he nailed her, but when she threw the same punch she just hit air. The punch actually managed to knock out the sand girl, ending the match in favor of the Leaf. Naruto let out a loud cheer for his friend, it made the Leaf a good 3 for 3, though how Shino won was a bit odd. Now would come the main event, the fight everyone was waiting for. Chapter 8. Sasuke vs Gaara and the end of the exam. The entire stadium's attention was riveted on a single spot, awaiting the impending clash between Sasuke and Gaara. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, but the star of the show was conspicuously absent. There was no sign of the Uchiha prodigy, leaving everyone to wonder if they would miss witnessing the Uchiha's prowess and the legendary power of his clan. Speculations and rumors buzzed through the crowd, their imaginations running wild with unfounded tales about the Uchiha's whereabouts and inquiries about the enigmatic son of the Kazekage, Gaara. Many spectators knew very little about the Sand Village shinobi, adding to the mystique of the impending battle. Naruto, positioned as close to the field as possible, observed the scene with keen interest. His thoughts drifted to Sasuke, questioning why he was taking so long and what could possibly be more important than seizing the opportunity to become a chunin and prove his worth. Guy, stationed elsewhere in the stadium, shared Naruto's curiosity, his attention firmly fixed on locating his rival's protege. Guy pondered the extent of Kakashi's training and the new skills Sasuke had acquired. Even within the arena, Genma mulled over the challenge of announcing Sasuke's forfeiture to the crowd if he failed to arrive in time. A gust of wind swept in from the north, bringing with it Sasuke, Uchiha and Kakashi, just in the nick of time. "Hope we didn't keep you waiting too long," Kakashi quipped nonchalantly. "Well, you certainly cut it close," Genma replied wryly. "Let's hope Sasuke doesn't pick up any of your tardiness, Kakashi." "Who knows? Let's get this match started, shall we?" Kakashi replied, vanishing in a puff of smoke. I anticipated Kakashi's arrival with uncanny precision, having become accustomed to his rival's patterns over the years. "You're running late, as usual," Guy remarked with a grin. "What can I say? There's always so much to do, so little time," Kakashi replied with a seemingly casual smile. "So, how did Naruto fare?" "True to your expectations, my rival, he emerged victorious," Guy announced. "Is your protege prepared for his match?" "Absolutely. You know Sasuke," Kakashi replied with his characteristic nonchalance. "Shall we get this started, then?" On the other side of the arena, Naruto observed Sasuke closely, trying to gauge the extent of his improvement. Shikamaru, standing beside Naruto, also observed with a calculating gaze, weighing the potential challenges of his impending match against Sasuke. Naruto turned his attention back to the battle, fixating on Gaara and Sasuke. The chilling intensity in their eyes was palpable, radiating a deep-seated hatred that seemed directed at the world itself. As the match commenced, both shinobi began to move away from each other. An unexpected turn of events ensued as Gaara exhibited odd shaking movements, manipulating the sand from his gourd in a manner entirely unlike his previous battle against Lee. The whispers of intrigue among the crowd intensified, rumors spiraling in every direction, and questions about Gaara's abilities and Sasuke's late arrival lingered. Sasuke lunged forward, launching his assault against Gaara, who responded by creating a sand clone to intercept the attack. The stadium held its collective breath as the clone exploded into a storm of sand, narrowly avoided by Sasuke. The subsequent clashes unfolded with blinding speed as Sasuke showcased incredible agility and a style reminiscent of Lee's. Naruto marveled at Sasuke's mastery of the speed-based techniques, silently acknowledging his own progress in the same realm. Sasuke's barrage of blows struck Gaara, who was knocked to the ground, mirroring Lee's earlier tactics. The dynamic of the battle shifted abruptly as Gaara formed a defensive cocoon of sand around himself, warding Sasuke's attacks. Naruto sensed an unsettling aura emanating from Gaara, a feeling that transcended normal human emotions. Sasuke adjusted his strategy, nimbly evading the spikes protruding from the sand cocoon while gauging its weaknesses. With a surge of determination, Sasuke scaled the arena wall, channeling electrified chakra into his hand. Naruto's eyes widened in astonishment as he recognized the jutsu. Sasuke propelled himself downward with astonishing speed, lightning crackling around his hand. The electrified strike pierced through Gaara's defense, leaving everyone spellbound. The ensuing moments were suspended in time before the sand cocoon dissipated, revealing Gaara's wounded form. As Naruto absorbed the astonishing display of power, the sudden appearance of other sand shinobi and their teacher signaled a perplexing turn of events. Naruto felt an unfamiliar sensation wash over him, fatigue settling in as an illusionary technique enveloped the stadium. Drawing from his limited knowledge, he managed to dispel the genjutsu, though the majority of the audience remained entrapped. Glancing around, Naruto spotted Shikamaru, the only other unaffected observer. "We need to help them. Those people over there might be in danger," Naruto urged, motioning toward the afflicted section of the crowd. Shikamaru nodded in agreement and they hurried to assist. Emerging from the stadium, they encountered Sound Shinobi. Naruto prepared to engage but was intercepted by Guy and Kakashi, who swiftly dispatched the intruders. "Both of you, listen carefully. Join Sakura and track down Sasuke and Gaara. It won't be easy, but I trust you to handle it," Kakashi instructed before summoning a small dog. "Pakin will assist you, he can follow Sasuke's scent." Naruto acknowledged the task, his resolve firm. He noticed Sakura nearby and the trio quickly set off, their mission clear. Naruto glimpsed a hole in the wall created by Guy's earlier strike. "There's our exit. Let's move, but stay vigilant," Naruto declared, leading the way. As they ventured forth, the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, yet Naruto, Sakura and Shikamaru were determined to find Sasuke and Gaara and bring an end to the perplexing turn of events that had unfolded in the Chunin exams. Chapter 9. Naruto, Defender of Konoha. Naruto's foot landed solidly on a large tree branch, following Pakin's chosen path. Smoke billowed from the village ahead, a troubling sight that tugged at Naruto's concern for the attacked villagers. Worry for his friends, especially Konohamaru and Iruka-sensei, gnawed at him. However, Naruto understood he couldn't let his fears hinder his mission. He needed to stay focused and complete the task at hand, finding Gaara and Sasuke. "Hey, kids, hate to break it to you, but we've got company tailing us," Pakin alerted, jolting Naruto from his thoughts. "How many are there, and are they catching up?" Shikamaru inquired, his typical analytical tone in place. "Initially 8, but it looks like they're joined by another. They're trailing us slowly," Pakin reported. "So, what's the plan?" Sakura chimed in, keeping pace. "We could halt here and confront them head-on," Naruto proposed, eager for a fight. "Although that might catch them off guard and give us an advantage, we'd still be outnumbered and potentially outmatched," Shikamaru countered. "I have a plan. I'll stay behind and delay them while you two continue the mission." Naruto's protest was immediate and passionate. "No way, Shikamaru. That's a suicide mission." Calmly, Shikamaru retorted, "I've thought this through. Shadow possession jutsu is ideal for buying time, and it'll allow you both to complete the mission. Don't worry, I've got it under control. Don't you dare die out here, you hear me?" Naruto's voice wavered with concern. "Trust me, I know what I'm doing," Shikamaru assured, his resolve unshaken. "Good luck, Naruto." With Shikamaru in place, Naruto, Sakura and Pakin pressed on, leaving their friend behind to face the pursuing threats. Naruto's glance over his shoulder held a silent wish for Shikamaru's safety before he focused on the task at hand. The importance of the mission was clear, Naruto had to complete it not just for the village, but for his friends as well. Guided by Pakin's scent tracking abilities, they pressed forward. The forest path led them toward an unexpected sight, a half-human, half-raccoon creature resembling Gaara, with its back turned. Sasuke appeared worse for wear, leaning against a tree. "Sakura, listen. I'll create a distraction. Your job is to get Sasuke out of here safely," Naruto whispered to his teammate. Sakura nodded, her eyes reflecting trust in Naruto's judgment. "Okay, just be careful." As Naruto initiated his diversion, Gaara shifted his attention, his bizarre transformation fueling Naruto's determination. Naruto's heart clenched with worry for his friends back in the village, but he couldn't let anxiety hinder his resolve. "I hate to tell you kids this, but we're being tailed," Pakin warned, their conversation interrupted. "Focus on the mission. We'll worry about that later," Naruto declared, his eyes locked on the challenge before him. Gaara's monstrous form demanded attention, yet Naruto's priorities remained clear. He had to protect his village and friends. He summoned his strength, knowing he had to give everything he had. "Raccoon arm!" Gaara roared, lunging at Naruto. Reacting quickly, Naruto dodged the attack and countered with a swift kick to Gaara's face. Gaara's expression twisted with rage as Naruto's words ignited a fiery determination within him. "Uzumaki Naruto, how dare you interfere? You will pay with your blood, and then your precious friends will follow," Gaara snarled in a deranged tone. Naruto's resolve solidified. "I won't lose to you. I fight for my friends, and that makes me stronger than you'll ever be." Gaara's transformation continued, morphing into a raccoon-like demon that chilled Naruto to his core. Despite the overwhelming threat, Naruto stood firm, his heart aflame with determination. "Sand Shuriken!" Gaara exclaimed, launching a barrage of deadly projectiles at Naruto. Undeterred, Naruto activated his Leaf Hurricane, rapidly evading the shuriken and approaching Gaara. The dance of evasion continued as Naruto maneuvered around Gaara, assessing the situation. But Gaara had other plans. A massive wave of chakra surged from him, crushing Naruto's shadow clones and hurling him back. As the dust settled, Gaara stood ready to continue the battle. Naruto struggled to rise, pain throbbing through his chest. His fight wasn't over yet, not as long as he had strength left to protect his friends. He staggered to his feet, his will unyielding. Then, the moment of realization hit him. He had to use it, the technique he had been uncertain of. Gritting his teeth, Naruto charged toward Gaara once more. Gaara launched a series of sand shuriken, but Naruto's speed and determination enabled him to avoid them. He activated the primary lotus, launching Gaara into the air and dealing a powerful blow. The tides of the battle shifted, and Naruto allowed himself a brief moment of triumph. Yet, Gaara's indomitable will persisted. Despite the fierce assault, Gaara emerged from the impact, still determined to continue the fight. "You'll pay for that, Naruto. Mark my words, your demise will be satisfying," Gaara seethed. As Gaara launched another assault, Naruto found himself propelled into the air by a blast of sand. He hit the ground hard, his body aching and battered. He summoned every ounce of strength he had left, a determined glint in his eyes. "Summoning jutsu," Naruto called out, utilizing the technique he had been taught. Summoning Gamabunta, Naruto found himself atop the massive toad's back. Gamabunta's strength and experience bolstered Naruto's resolve as they engaged Gaara's monstrous form. "Boss, we've got to stop him. He's a danger to everyone I care about," Naruto pleaded. "Kid, I see it. Let's take him down." "Just hold on tight," Gamabunta grunted. But the mighty charge, Gamabunta attacked, slicing Gaara's arm with his sword. Although the damage was minimal, it was a start. Gaara retaliated, firing air bullets that Gamabunta skillfully dodged. Gamabunta's experience and Naruto's determination proved to be a formidable combination. As they continued the battle, Gaara's monstrous form began to weaken. Naruto saw an opportunity and launched himself at Gaara, delivering a powerful blow before landing back on the ground. Gaara lay defeated, a shattered and battered version of his former self. Naruto could hardly believe the battle was over. Exhausted but triumphant, he approached Gaara, their eyes meeting. "What gives you such strength? How can you keep fighting?" Gaara's voice held a mix of confusion and frustration. Naruto's reply was unwavering. "It's simple. I fight to protect those I care about. My friends are worth fighting for, and that's what makes me stronger." As the dust settled, Temari arrived, carrying Gaara away. Naruto watched, his smile one of accomplishment. He had managed to protect his friends, to stand against overwhelming odds, and emerge victorious. Lying on the ground, Naruto waited for his energy to return, his spirit unbroken. He knew that this fight was just one step in a larger journey, one where he would continue to defend his village, his friends, and everything he held dear. Chapter 10. Naruto's Rise to Chunin. Naruto woke up with a sense of renewed energy, a broad grin stretching across his face as he got out of bed. The previous night's sleep had been particularly satisfying after spending 2 days in the Drab hospital recovering from his intense battle with Gaara. He couldn't help but chuckle at the memory of Sakura's complete preoccupation with Sasuke during his hospital stay. She hadn't even brought him any ramen. Luckily, he had more than made up for it once he was out, treating himself to a feast that was generously charged to Iruka's account. Getting dressed and ready for the day, Naruto knew he had an important appointment, a meeting with the Hokage. Sarutobi, the old man, had managed to drive off Orochimaru during their battle, an impressive feat by any standard. The village was still intact, and Naruto couldn't imagine a Konoha without the Hokage. Hurrying through the streets of Konoha, Naruto greeted people with his usual enthusiasm, albeit in a bit of a hurry. He dashed past the guards at the Hokage's office, waving a quick greeting as he entered. His arrival seemed to be the last one, with the Hokage, the exam proctors, and even Shikamaru already present. "Naruto, good to see you made it," the Hokage greeted him with a warm smile. Naruto took his place beside Shikamaru, a mixture of nerves and excitement bubbling within him. The room was filled with a sense of pride, and Naruto couldn't help but feel a surge of accomplishment as he looked around at the assembled shinobi. "Well then, let's get this over with," Sarutobi began. "While the exams were cut short, it's clear to all of us that certain individuals have proven themselves beyond doubt. Both the exams and the events that followed have highlighted the strength and determination of 2 exceptional genin. Therefore, based on the recommendations of the proctors and my own observations, I hereby declare Naruto Uzumaki and Shikamaru Nara as chunin of the Leaf Village. Do you pledge to uphold the responsibilities of this rank and honor your village?" "We promise to give it our all and make the village proud," Naruto and Shikamaru affirmed in unison. "Congratulations, you are now officially chunin," the Hokage declared with a twinkle in his eye. Naruto couldn't believe it, he was now a chunin, a title that came with newfound respect and recognition. It was a validation of all his hard work, his determination to grow stronger, and his unwavering spirit. He exchanged proud glances with the other shinobi in the room, his heart swelling with pride. After the meeting, Naruto made his way out of the Hokage's office, his smile practically ear to ear. Shikamaru invited him to join his team for a barbecue celebration, but Naruto had something else on his mind. He had another important task to take care of, one that had been postponed since the exams. "Thanks, Shikamaru, but I've got something I need to do," Naruto replied, determination evident in his voice. With a nod, Naruto left the Hokage's tower and headed towards Training Ground 12. He waved to Shikamaru as he left, his mind focused on the challenge ahead. This was a personal matter, something he had wanted to do for a long time, a rematch against Sasuke. The bet between Guy and Kakashi had been left unresolved due to the attack on Konoha, and Naruto intended to settle it now. As Naruto arrived at the training ground, he found Sasuke waiting for him. Their exchange was terse, tension hanging in the air. Naruto was determined to prove himself, to show that his growth was more than luck and that he could stand toe-to-toe with Sasuke. The battle began, and Naruto's instincts kicked in. He matched Sasuke blow for blow, their movements a dance of skill and strategy. Naruto decided to test his speed, keeping it in check initially, but then unleashed it, catching Sasuke off guard. Naruto's rapid movements left Sasuke momentarily baffled, a testament to the progress Naruto had made. Sasuke, never one to back down, activated his Sharingan. Naruto had a moment of uncertainty, unsure how to combat the powerful visual jutsu. But he wasn't about to be discouraged. With determination burning in his eyes, Naruto pressed on. As they clashed, Naruto thought on his feet, devising a plan to counter the Sharingan. He utilized shadow clones to confuse Sasuke's vision, creating openings for his attacks. The fight was intense, each move a calculated risk, each strike a testament to their growth. The battle reached its peak as Sasuke's Sharingan focused on Naruto. In a daring move, Naruto vanished from sight, leaving Sasuke momentarily disoriented. With blinding speed, Naruto reappeared behind Sasuke, his dynamic entry landing a solid hit that knocked the Uchiha off balance. Guy and Kakashi appeared on the scene, their presence a testament to the significance of this moment. Guy, in his usual exuberance, declared his victory in their bet. Kakashi, though nonchalant, seemed to have anticipated the outcome. The two Jounin discussed the terms of the bet, which involved a trade of shinobi. Naruto would join Guy's team, while Neji would be transferred to Kakashi's team. The exchange was made, and Naruto's path took a new turn. Standing amidst his friends, Naruto felt a mixture of emotions: excitement for the challenges ahead, nostalgia for the times with Team 7, and determination to continue growing. He had shown himself worthy of the title chunin, proven his strength against formidable opponents, and now embarked on a new chapter of his shinobi journey. With a satisfied smile, Naruto looked ahead, ready to face whatever challenges and adventures awaited him as a member of Team Guy. His dream of becoming Hokage burned brighter than ever, and he knew he was well on his way to making it a reality. A new day and new mission. Naruto's day was filled with the rhythmic sound of hammering as he helped with the cleanup and repairs in the village. The aftermath of the recent attack had left its mark, and the villagers were busy rebuilding and restoring their homes. As Naruto swung the hammer, his thoughts drifted to the intense battles and the challenges he had faced, reminding him of the importance of protecting the village he held dear. Amidst the sounds of construction, he caught sight of Konohamaru, who was assisting in the recovery efforts. Naruto's face brightened as he set down the hammer and made his way over to his young friend. "Hey Konohamaru. How's it going?" Naruto greeted with a warm smile. Konohamaru looked up, surprised to see Naruto approaching him. "Naruto-senpai. I didn't expect to see you here." Naruto chuckled and ruffled Konohamaru's hair. "Well, I thought I'd lend a hand. Figured I should help out with the repairs after everything that happened." Konohamaru's eyes gleamed with admiration. "That's really cool of you, Naruto-senpai. You're always so strong and dependable." Naruto scratched his head, a bit embarrassed by the praise. Well, I've got my moments. But I've learned that protecting the village and the people I care about is what being a shinobi is all about." Konohamaru nodded, his expression serious. "Yeah, I want to become a strong shinobi like you too, Naruto-senpai. I want to be able to protect the village and everyone in it." Naruto's smile widened. "That's the spirit, Konohamaru. Just keep training hard and never give up, no matter how tough things get." Konohamaru's determination burned brightly. "I will, Naruto-senpai." As they continued talking, Naruto and Konohamaru discussed their experiences during the recent events. Naruto shared his insights about the battles he had fought, emphasizing the importance of teamwork and always believing in oneself. Konohamaru listened attentively, hanging on to every word. "You know, Konohamaru, being a shinobi isn't just about the cool jutsu or flashy fights," Naruto said thoughtfully. "It's about protecting the people you care about, standing up for what's right, and working together with your comrades." Konohamaru nodded, absorbing Naruto's wisdom. "I get it, Naruto-senpai. I want to be a shinobi who can make a difference and protect everyone." "That's the way to go, buddy," Naruto said, giving Konohamaru a thumbs up. "And remember, no matter how tough things get, you're never alone. We're all here to support each other." Konohamaru grinned, a newfound determination in his eyes. "Thanks, Naruto-senpai. I'll keep that in mind." With a satisfied nod, Naruto returned to his work, hammering nails and contributing to the rebuilding efforts. Konohamaru joined him, eager to do his part in restoring the village to its former glory. As they worked side by side, the bond between mentor and student grew stronger, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Leaf Village and its shinobi. Amidst the ongoing cleanup and rebuilding efforts, Naruto spotted Tenten diligently working on repairing one of the damaged structures. He decided to take a break from his own tasks and approached her with a friendly grin. "Hey Tenten. You're really putting in the effort here," Naruto called out, catching her attention. Tenten looked up, wiping sweat from her brow with a smile. "Thanks Naruto. It's important to do our part and help the village get back on its feet." Naruto nodded in agreement. "You're absolutely right. We've got to show that the Leaf Village is strong and united, no matter what." Tenten's eyes sparkled with determination. "Exactly. Plus, it feels good to see the progress we're making." "Yeah, it's like rebuilding our home together," Naruto added. "By the way, how's Neji holding up? I know he took quite a beating during the attack." Tenten's expression softened. Neji's tough, as always. He's been resting and recovering, but I'm sure he'll be back on his feet soon. Naruto grinned. I've got no doubt about that. Neji's one of the strongest guys I know. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Izumo, one of the village's shinobi guards. He approached Tenten and Naruto with a serious expression. Sorry to interrupt, but the Hokage has requested your presence. He said it's about an important mission, Izumo informed them. Tenten and Naruto exchanged surprised glances before nodding at Izumo. Sure thing. We'll head to the Hokage's office right away. Izumo nodded back. Good. He's waiting for you there. As Izumo left to attend to his duties, Tenten turned to Naruto with a mixture of curiosity and excitement. I wonder what this important mission is about. Naruto shrugged, a grin playing on his lips. Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's go see what the old man has in store for us. Tenten and Naruto entered the Hokage's office, their curiosity piqued by the mention of an important mission. As they stood before the Hokage's desk, they exchanged glances and waited for him to speak. Hokage-sama, you wanted to see us? Naruto asked. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, looked up from his paperwork and offered them a warm smile. Ah, Naruto, Tenten. Yes, I have a mission for the two of you. Tenten tilted her head slightly, intrigued. A mission? What kind of mission, Hokage-sama? Hiruzen leaned back in his chair and began to explain. As you know, our village has always valued strong diplomatic ties with our neighboring villages. In light of recent events, particularly the attack on the village by Orochimaru and the Sand Village's involvement, we believe it's time to reaffirm our friendship with the Sand. Naruto nodded thoughtfully. So, you want us to help re-establish diplomatic relations with the Sand Village? Yes, exactly, Hiruzen confirmed. I've selected a small team for this mission, and I believe both of you would be valuable assets. Alongside Shikamaru Nara, you'll be joined by two young genin. Choji Akimichi and Ino Yamanaka. Tenten raised an eyebrow. Choji and Ino. That's an interesting choice. Hiruzen chuckled. Yes, well, I believe this team composition will provide a good balance of skills. Choji's determination and Ino's communication abilities will complement your own strengths. Naruto grinned. Sounds like a plan. When do we leave? Your team will depart tomorrow morning, Hiruzen replied. You'll meet with a delegation from the Sand Village at the border. Your primary objective is to establish open communication and express our desire for continued friendship and cooperation. Tenten nodded. Understood, Hokage-sama. We'll do our best to represent the Leaf Village well. Naruto added with determination, yeah. We'll show them that the bonds between our villages are unbreakable. Hiruzen's smile grew even warmer. I have no doubt that you will, Naruto. This mission is of utmost importance, and I trust you all to handle it with the utmost care and diplomacy. As they left the Hokage's office, Tenten and Naruto discussed their upcoming mission. It's going to be interesting working with Choji and Ino, Tenten mused. Naruto grinned. Yeah, I bet Choji will make friends with anyone if there's food involved, and Ino's got that whole flower shop thing going for her. They'll be great for this. Tenten chuckled. True. Let's make sure we're well prepared for tomorrow. We need to make a strong impression. Definitely, Naruto agreed. Time to get ready for some diplomacy, ninja style. The next morning, Naruto gathered his belongings and headed towards the meeting point. He was eager to embark on the diplomatic mission with his fellow teammates and make a positive impact on relations between the Leaf and Sand villages. As he reached the designated area, he was surprised to see Iruka waiting there as well. Iruka-sensei, you're coming on this mission too? Naruto exclaimed, a wide grin spreading across his face. Iruka chuckled warmly. That's right, Naruto. The Hokage thought it would be a good idea to have an experienced chunin like me accompany the team. Plus, it'll give us a chance to work together on a real mission. Naruto's excitement grew. This is going to be awesome. Having you with us makes it even better. Tenten and the other team members arrived shortly after, and introductions were made. Choji's appetite and Ino's confidence made for an interesting combination, and Naruto could already tell that their team was going to have some memorable moments. As they set out on their journey towards the Sand Village, Naruto walked alongside Iruka. The sun was shining, and the landscape stretched out before them. Iruka-sensei, this is gonna be so cool, Naruto said with enthusiasm. I've never been on a diplomatic mission before. Iruka nodded, his eyes filled with pride. It's a big responsibility, Naruto. Diplomacy plays a crucial role in maintaining peace and understanding between villages. And I'm glad I get to experience it with you. Naruto grinned. Yeah, we'll show him the power of the Hidden Leaf's friendship. Tenten joined the conversation, her voice carrying a mix of determination and curiosity. I wonder what the Sand Village is like. It's my first time going there. Naruto's excitement was contagious as he responded, I heard they have a huge desert and amazing sand jutsu. It's gonna be a whole new adventure. Choji chimed in, his thoughts naturally gravitating towards food. I hope they have good snacks. Ino playfully rolled her eyes. Of course you're thinking about food, Choji. As the team continued to chat and share their thoughts, the journey to the Sand Village had officially begun. Naruto felt a strong sense of camaraderie among his teammates and a deeper connection with Iruka. They were on a mission to build bridges, strengthen bonds, and learn about another village's culture and way of life. As the sun beat down on the vast desert expanse, Naruto and his fellow Leaf Village shinobi finally arrived at the Sand Village. They were greeted by the familiar faces of Kankuro and Temari, who had come to welcome them. Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of camaraderie with them after their previous encounters. But what really caught his attention was the introduction of a stunning kunoichi named Mai Kazukuno. Mai's presence was captivating, and her wind-like grace seemed to match the very essence of the desert itself. Her long flowing hair and confident demeanor made her stand out even among the already impressive Sand Village shinobi. Naruto noticed a gleam in Iruka's eyes as he introduced himself to Mai, and he couldn't help but smirk at the obvious reaction. "Hello, everyone. I'm Kankuro, and this is my sister, Temari," Kankuro greeted warmly. "We're glad you made it safely to the Sand Village. And this is Mai Kazukuno, one of our most talented shinobi." "Nice to meet you all," Temari added with a nod, her fan strapped to her back as always. Mai offered a graceful bow, her eyes holding a hint of mystery and confidence. "A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've heard a lot about the Leaf Village's skilled shinobi." Naruto exchanged introductions with the Sand Village team, and Iruka seemed to be rather engaged in conversation with Mai, much to Naruto's amusement. Even though they were there on a diplomatic mission, it seemed that Iruka's interest had been piqued by more than just politics. As they made their way into the heart of the Sand Village, Naruto couldn't help but notice the easy banter between Temari and Shikamaru. It was clear that the two had a comfortable familiarity, and Naruto wondered if there was more to their relationship than met the eye. He glanced at Shikamaru, who had a rare almost content smile on his face as he exchanged words with the Sand Village kunoichi. Soon, they were guided to a place to stay while the diplomatic discussions were underway. The Sand Village had arranged comfortable accommodations for the Leaf team, giving them a chance to relax after their journey. Naruto, of course, had his eyes on the delicious local cuisine, while Shikamaru seemed content to laze around and take in the surroundings. "Wow, this place is really something," Naruto commented, looking around at the sandstone buildings and the unique architecture of the Sand Village. "It's certainly different from our village," Tenten added, her eyes bright with curiosity. As the team settled in, Naruto found himself drawn into a conversation with Kankuro, who shared stories of his experiences and battles. Naruto was eager to learn from another shinobi, and Kankuro's tales were both enlightening and entertaining. Meanwhile, Iruka and Mai continued to engage in a lively conversation nearby, their voices carrying snippets of laughter and shared interests. Naruto couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of Iruka trying to impress the alluring kunoichi. The sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the sand dunes. Naruto leaned back, feeling the sand beneath his fingers and taking in the peaceful atmosphere. He watched as Temari and Shikamaru strolled together, their shadows stretching long across the sand. "Hey, Naruto, looks like this mission might turn out to be more interesting than we thought," Tenten said with a grin, nudging him playfully. "Yeah, you're right," Naruto agreed, a sense of excitement bubbling within him. "Let's make the most of it." As the first day in the Sand Village came to a close, Naruto couldn't help but look forward to the upcoming discussions and interactions with their Sand Village counterparts. Little did he know, this diplomatic mission would bring about unexpected challenges, friendships, and revelations that would shape their journey in unforeseen ways. The accommodations in the Sand Village were more comfortable than Naruto had expected. Each member of their team had their own small room, and there was a central community room where they could gather to discuss plans and relax. Naruto wasted no time in unpacking his belongings, eager to settle in and make the most of their stay. As he joined the others in the community room, Shikamaru's words caught his attention. "I've got some stuff to go over with Temari tonight. We're planning dinner and discussing a few things. I'll catch you all later." Naruto raised an eyebrow, a knowing grin spreading across his face. "Sure thing, Shikamaru. Have fun with your strategic discussions." Shikamaru rolled his eyes, but his lips quirked up in a small smile. "You're impossible, Naruto. See you later." With Shikamaru's departure, the room felt a bit quieter, and Naruto turned his attention to the others. It wasn't long before Mai entered the room, her presence commanding attention. She looked over at Iruka with a friendly smile. "Iruka-sensei, are you ready to explore the village and visit the academy? I'd be happy to show you around," Mai offered. Iruka's eyes lit up, clearly excited by the prospect. "Absolutely, Mai-san. I'm looking forward to learning more about the Sand Village and its shinobi." Mai's smile widened and she gestured toward the door. "Great, let's head out then. We'll start with the academy and give you an overview of our training methods." Naruto watched as Iruka and Mai headed out, a sense of contentment settling over him. He turned to Tenten, who was busy examining a map of the village. "Hey, Tenten, I'm starving. You up for checking out some local food?" Naruto asked with a grin. Tenten looked up from the map, her eyes lighting up. "Definitely, Naruto. I heard they have some amazing dishes here. Let's go explore and find something delicious to eat." The two of them left the community room, their footsteps echoing through the sandstone hallway as they ventured out into the bustling village. Naruto's excitement grew as he thought about the new experiences and friendships that awaited them during this diplomatic mission. As Naruto and Tenten strolled through the vibrant streets of the sand village, their curiosity led them to a quaint yet well-stocked weapons shop. The air was filled with a distinct scent of metal and the sound of clinking as blades were tested and examined. Naruto's eyes widened as he took in the array of weapons displayed on racks and hanging from the walls. "Wow, Tenten, this place is amazing," Naruto exclaimed, his excitement palpable. Tenten chuckled, clearly enjoying Naruto's enthusiasm. "I knew you'd like it, Naruto. Welcome to my world." Naruto grinned and followed Tenten as she moved from rack to rack, expertly inspecting each weapon. She picked up a shuriken, examining its balance and craftsmanship before moving on to a finely crafted kunai. This kunai has a well-balanced weight distribution, making it perfect for throwing accurately and swiftly, Tenten explained, her eyes focused on the weapon in her hand. Naruto watched in fascination as she handled each weapon with care and precision, her knowledge and passion evident in every gesture. He couldn't help but admire her dedication to her craft. "Hey, Tenten, is there anything here that you've been eyeing?" Naruto asked, genuinely interested. Tenten's gaze shifted to a particular weapon display, her eyes lingering on a beautifully designed chakram. "Actually, that chakram over there has caught my attention. It's a versatile weapon that can be used for both long range and close combat." Naruto grinned mischievously. "Well, why don't you pick it out? It could be like a souvenir from our mission." Tenten's eyes widened in surprise. "Naruto, you don't have to do that." Naruto waved off her concerns. "Nonsense. It's the least I can do for my awesome teammate." With a grateful smile, Tenten approached the chakram and carefully examined it. Naruto watched as she tested its weight and balance, a look of determination in her eyes. "It's perfect," Tenten said with a satisfied nod. "I've always wanted to add a chakram to my arsenal." Naruto grinned and motioned for the shopkeeper. "We'll take that chakram." After a brief exchange of payment, the chakram was carefully wrapped and handed to Tenten. She held it in her hands with a mixture of excitement and gratitude. "Thank you, Naruto. I really appreciate this," Tenten said, her voice filled with sincerity. Naruto shrugged, his smile widening. "No problem, Tenten. Just make sure you use it to kick some butt." Tenten chuckled. "You got it, Naruto." After their exploration of the weapons shop, Naruto and Tenten decided to sit down for a meal at a local eatery. The sense of unfamiliar spices and flavors filled the air, and Naruto's stomach rumbled in anticipation. As they settled into their seats, Tenten grinned at Naruto. "Get ready for something different, Naruto. Sand Village cuisine has its own unique taste." Naruto nodded, his eyes gleaming with curiosity. "I'm up for anything. Let's see what they've got." Their meal arrived, a mix of colorful dishes that looked unlike anything Naruto had seen before. Tenten explained the ingredients and flavors of each dish, and Naruto listened attentively while taking cautious bites. The flavors were indeed different from what he was used to, but not in a bad way. He found himself enjoying the new culinary experience and was eager to embrace the local culture. As they finished their meal and paid the bill, Naruto felt a sense of contentment. "You know, Tenten, this is pretty cool. Trying new things and all." Tenten grinned. "I'm glad you're enjoying it, Naruto. It's all part of the adventure." Returning to their temporary lodging, Naruto was greeted by Shikamaru's sly grin. Well, look who finally made it back. Did you have a good time on your little date, Naruto?" Naruto's eyes widened in mock surprise. "Oh, Shikamaru, you got it all wrong. It was a cultural exploration, not a date." Shikamaru chuckled. Right. Exploring the local culture, I get it." Ino, who was sitting nearby, couldn't resist chiming in. "Oh, come on, Naruto. We all saw you two at that restaurant. Looked like a date to me." Naruto's cheeks reddened as he scratched the back of his head. "Come on, guys, cut me some slack." Tenten joined in the teasing with a playful grin. "Don't worry, Naruto. A cultural exploration date is totally a thing." Naruto's protests were met with laughter from his friends, and he realized he was now on the receiving end of their good-natured teasing. It was all in good fun, and he couldn't help but smile along. A new alliance. The following day dawned with a sense of anticipation as the group split up to explore the sand village. Each pair was led by a sand shinobi who was eager to show them the sights and engage in meaningful conversations. Temari, Shikamaru, and Choji set out together, guided by Temari's expertise. She led them through the bustling marketplace, pointing out various stalls and sharing insights about the local trade. As they walked, Tamari engaged in thoughtful discussions with Shikamaru about potential strategies and collaborations between their villages. Toji, of course, didn't miss the opportunity to sample some of the local delicacies along the way, much to the amusement of his companions. Mai, Iruka and Ino embarked on a different route, exploring the cultural and artistic aspects of the village. Mai, with her keen eye for aesthetics, introduced them to local art galleries and craft shops, explaining the significance behind various pieces. The group engaged in lively conversations about the importance of artistic expression and its role in fostering understanding between villages. Meanwhile, Naruto and Tenten found themselves in the company of none other than Gaara, the xXYamchaXx himself. Gaara led them through the heart of the Sand Village, his presence commanding respect from the villagers they encountered along the way. As they reached the imposing Hokage's office, Gaara turned to Naruto with a solemn expression. "Naruto, there is something I wish to discuss with you," Gaara began, his voice carrying a weight of responsibility. Naruto nodded, his curiosity piqued. "Sure, Gaara. What's on your mind?" Gaara's gaze remained steady as he spoke. The events that transpired during the Konoha crush were a grave misunderstanding, fueled by manipulation and deception. "I want to assure you that the Sand Village deeply regrets its involvement in that attack. We were misled by Orochimaru, and the consequences were dire." Naruto listened attentively, his empathy evident in his eyes. "I understand, Gaara. Mistakes happen, and sometimes it's hard to see through all the lies. The important thing is that we're working together now." Gaara's expression softened, and he nodded in appreciation. "Indeed, Naruto. The Sand Village is committed to building a stronger alliance with the Leaf Village, one based on trust and mutual support. As the xXYamchaXx, I am determined to ensure a brighter future for both our villages." Naruto smiled, extending a hand toward Gaara. "Count me in, Gaara. I believe in second chances, and I'm ready to forge a new path of cooperation." Gaara accepted Naruto's handshake, a hint of gratitude in his eyes. "Thank you, Naruto. Your willingness to look beyond past conflicts gives me hope." The elegant evening unfolded as the Konoha and Sand Ninja gathered in a lavishly adorned hall, each donning their formal uniforms, a departure from their usual attire. The atmosphere was one of respect and camaraderie, a celebration of the newfound alliance between the two villages. A long table stretched across the room, separating the Konoha and Sand Ninja, who took their seats on opposite sides. Naruto couldn't help but suppress a chuckle as he noticed Iruka adjusting his formal uniform with an air of mild discomfort. He exchanged a knowing glance with Mai, who sat nearby, and the two shared a light-hearted moment of amusement. The interactions between Tamari and Shikamaru, however, drew Naruto's attention. He smirked as he observed their playful banter and subtle glances, recognizing the chemistry between them. It seemed that even amidst a formal setting, the dynamic between the Sand and Leaf Ninja remained authentic and genuine. As the meal began, Naruto found himself engaged in lively conversations with the Sand Ninja seated across from him. They exchanged stories, shared experiences, and discussed their hopes for the future alliance. Naruto's charismatic and warm demeanor effortlessly endeared him to those around him, leaving a positive impression on his Sand counterparts. Unbeknownst to Naruto, his presence had begun to captivate Tenten, who sat beside him. She found herself drawn to his infectious enthusiasm and genuine spirit. As the evening progressed, their interactions became increasingly animated, marked by laughter and shared anecdotes. Naruto's magnetic personality was proving difficult to ignore. Amidst the laughter and camaraderie, the bonds of friendship and understanding deepened. The formal dinner, meant to symbolize respect and cooperation, effortlessly transitioned into a genuine display of unity and fellowship. The night became a testament to the potential for bridges to be built between villages, transcending past conflicts. Under the starlit sky, in the heart of the Sand Village, history was being made. The official alliance between Konoha and the Sand Village was solidified as the leaders of both villages came together to sign the momentous agreement. The significance of the event was not lost on anyone present, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation and hope. The Sand Village's grand square had been adorned with vibrant banners, symbolizing the unity and collaboration that would now define their relationship. Distinguished guests from both villages, including the Konoha and Sand Ninja, gathered to witness the historic occasion. The leaders of the two villages, the Hokage and the xXYamchaXx, stood at the forefront, their expressions determined and resolute. Flanking them were their respective teams and advisors, each representing the collective aspirations and dreams of their people. As the ink met parchment, sealing the alliance, a sense of unity and optimism seemed to fill the air. The signatures were more than just a formality, they were a promise, a commitment to working together, supporting one another, and forging a brighter future. The alliance would prove to be a turning point for both villages, leading to collaborative efforts in diplomacy, defense, and growth. It was a step toward healing the wounds of past conflicts and building a foundation of trust and friendship. The witnesses, both Konoha and Sand Ninja alike, understood the weight of the moment. They were witnesses not only to a historic agreement but to the birth of a new era, one marked by cooperation, understanding, and shared goals. The next morning brought with it the arrival of 2 letters from Konoha, each bearing news that would impact the unfolding dynamics of the alliance. Iruka's expression shifted from curiosity to a mix of surprise and honor as he read the contents of the letter addressed to him. He shared the news with the group, his eyes gleaming with a sense of purpose. "It seems that I'll be staying in Sunagakure for a while," he announced, his voice resonating with determination. "I've been entrusted with the role of diplomat to foster and solidify the bond between our villages. I'll also be assisting in enhancing the Sand Village's ninja academy with the knowledge I've gained over the years." Mai, who had been listening attentively, nodded in approval. "It's wonderful to see how our alliance is being nurtured at its very core," she remarked. "Your expertise will undoubtedly benefit our academy, and your presence will strengthen our ties." Iruka's gaze shifted to Naruto, his fatherly warmth evident. "Naruto, my boy, I'll be counting on you to continue representing Konoha with the same spirit and determination you've always shown. Make me proud." Naruto grinned, saluting playfully. "You got it, Iruka-sensei. I'll keep things lively and make sure our bond with the Sand Village gets stronger." Meanwhile, Shikamaru took in the contents of his own letter, his expression a mix of intrigue and calculation. "It looks like my vacation's over before it even started," he mused, a wry grin forming. "They want me to stay behind for a week, gather information, and learn from Iruka-sensei. Seems like they're preparing me to step into his shoes." Temari raised an eyebrow, her playful smirk indicating a hint of teasing. "Looks like you'll be spending some quality time with a diplomat," she quipped, casting a knowing glance toward Shikamaru. Shikamaru sighed dramatically. "I guess someone's gotta do the boring work," he muttered, though a hint of amusement danced in his eyes. Naruto, never one to miss an opportunity, couldn't resist chiming in. "Guess you'll have a taste of what it's like to be a responsible adult, huh, Shikamaru?" Shikamaru shot Naruto an unamused look, but the corner of his mouth twitched. "Troublesome," he muttered. As the group shared a laugh, their camaraderie and shared experiences were further solidified. The alliance was not just about treaties and agreements, it was about forging connections and friendships that would endure through challenges and triumphs alike. With their belongings packed and their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment, Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten bid farewell to their comrades Iruka and Shikamaru. The Sand Village's warm embrace and the memories of their time there would remain with them as they embarked on their journey back to Konoha. "Take care, Iruka-sensei. Give 'em a taste of Konoha's spirit," Naruto exclaimed with a hearty grin, offering a thumbs up as he shouldered his bag. Iruka chuckled, ruffling Naruto's hair affectionately. "You keep that fire burning, Naruto. And remember, the alliance is not just about missions, it's about building lasting connections." Ino stepped forward, offering a sincere smile to Mai as she spoke. "Thank you for showing us around, Mai. We're lucky to have made new friends here." Mai returned the smile, her eyes sparkling. "The pleasure was mine, Ino. Safe travels, and may our alliance continue to flourish." Choji gave a hearty wave to Temari, who had joined them for the farewell. "Take care, Temari. Don't let Shikamaru drag you into too much laziness." Temari chuckled and gave a mock salute. "I'll do my best, Choji. And you better keep that appetite of yours in check." Tenten, too, exchanged farewells with a sense of camaraderie. "Thank you for your hospitality. We'll be back before you know it." As the team of 4 set off on the road back to Konoha, they shared stories of their time in the Sand Village, reliving the moments that had brought them closer together. The sun hung high in the sky, casting a warm glow over the landscape as they journeyed back to their home village. Upon their return to Konoha, they wasted no time in reporting their successful mission directly to the higher-ups. The news of the signed alliance and the progress made between the 2 villages was met with approval and satisfaction. The efforts of Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten had contributed to the strengthening of bonds and the promise of a brighter future. Chapter 14. Teamwork and a Warning. As Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten arrived at the small village on the border between the leaf and the sand, an eerie sense of unease settled over them. The village, usually bustling with activity, now seemed strangely quiet and tense. People peeked out from behind windows and doors, their fearful expressions telling a story of their own. "What's going on here?" Naruto murmured, exchanging concerned glances with his teammates. Approaching a group of villagers who had gathered hesitantly, Ino took the initiative to ask, "Is everything alright? Why is everyone so frightened?" A middle-aged man stepped forward, his voice quivering as he spoke. "It's the bandits, miss. They've been causing havoc in our village for weeks now. We've tried to defend ourselves, but they outnumber us. They've been demanding food, money, and even taking some of our people as prisoners." Naruto's fists clenched at his sides, his determination evident. "Bandits, huh? We can't just stand by while they terrorize innocent people. Tell us more about them. How many are there, where are they hiding?" The man nodded, grateful for their willingness to help. They've set up camp not far from here, in a cave in the nearby hills. There are about a dozen of them, armed and dangerous. They've been attacking us whenever we try to leave the village. Choji's brows furrowed with concern. We need to put a stop to this. No one should have to live in fear like this. Tenten's eyes gleamed with determination. Let's gather information and come up with a plan. We'll make sure these bandits won't trouble this village anymore. The villagers shared a mix of relief and gratitude, expressing their thanks for the Leaf Shinobi's intervention. With the newfound information in hand, Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten retreated to a quiet spot to strategize. We need to approach this carefully, Ino suggested, her analytical mind at work. If they've taken hostages, we have to consider their safety. Naruto nodded in agreement. Right. We can't just charge in blindly. We need to gather more intel and find a way to free the villagers they've taken. Choji chimed in, maybe we can create a diversion to draw some of them out of the cave. It might give us an opening to rescue the hostages. Tenten added, and once we have a plan in place, we strike hard and fast. We can't let these bandits harm anyone else. With their strategy set, the team of 4 ninja returned to the village, their resolve unwavering. As they shared their plan with the villagers, a sense of hope began to replace the fear that had gripped the village for so long. Under the cover of the night, Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten stealthily made their way toward the hills where the bandits had set up their camp. Each step was deliberate, each movement calculated, a testament to their growth as ninja since their time training and facing challenges in the Hidden Leaf village. As they approached the entrance of the cave, Tenten motioned for everyone to halt. We need to be cautious. They might have guards posted around the cave entrance. Naruto nodded, his eyes sharp and focused. I'll take care of the guards quietly. With a swift hand gesture, Naruto activated a seal, disappearing from sight with the body flicker technique. He reappeared behind the unsuspecting guards, using his newly acquired speed to swiftly incapacitate them without raising an alarm. Ino concentrated, using her mind transfer jutsu to enter the mind of one of the guards, gathering information about the bandits' numbers and the layout of the cave. She transmitted the details to her teammates, allowing them to adjust their plan accordingly. Looks like they've got hostages near the back of the cave, Ino whispered to the others. We need to free them before confronting the bandits. Choji nodded, his resolve firm. Let's create a diversion to draw their attention away from the hostages. I can use my expansion jutsu to create a distraction. With a quick nod of agreement, Tenten added, while Choji creates the diversion, I'll use my projectile weapons to disable any traps they might have set up inside the cave. The plan was set in motion. Choji focused his chakra and expanded his body, creating a large and intimidating figure that drew the attention of the bandits. As they rushed toward the distraction, Tenten's expertly thrown weapons disarmed traps and triggered mechanisms, rendering them harmless. Naruto and Ino seized the opportunity to slip deeper into the cave, using their combined skills to navigate the labyrinthine passages. Finally, they reached the area where the hostages were being held captive. Through careful teamwork, they incapacitated the guards and released the prisoners, guiding them to safety. Meanwhile, Choji's diversion was drawing the attention of the remaining bandits, leaving them vulnerable to a coordinated attack. Naruto and Ino rejoined the battle, their movements fluid and synchronized. Naruto's agility and Guy-inspired techniques allowed him to swiftly evade attacks and deliver powerful strikes, while Ino used her mind-body switch jutsu to temporarily take control of bandits and turn them against their allies. Tenten showcased her precision and accuracy, using her weapons to disarm and incapacitate opponents from a distance. Choji's expansion jutsu proved not only a distraction but also a formidable offensive maneuver, knocking several bandits off balance and creating openings for his teammates to exploit. As the battle raged on, the bandits' resistance dwindled and their leader was left standing alone. With a triumphant yell, Naruto unleashed a series of rapid strikes, incapacitating the bandit leader and ending the threat once and for all. With the battle won, the group of 4 caught their breath and surveyed the scene. The hostages were safe, the bandits defeated, and the small village's future looked brighter. Naruto, Ino, Choji, and Tenten exchanged nods of satisfaction, a silent acknowledgement of their growth and teamwork. As the night settled over the Hidden Leaf village, Naruto found himself restless, unable to shake off the events of the recent mission. His teammates had all headed home, and he was left alone with his thoughts. The weight of the responsibility he had shouldered began to press down on him, a reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Unable to find solace within the walls of his apartment, Naruto decided to go for a walk, hoping that the cool night air would help clear his mind. He wandered through familiar streets, lost in thought as he replayed the events of the past few days in his mind. As he walked, a strange sensation crept over him, causing him to pause. He felt as if someone was watching him, a presence that sent shivers down his spine. He turned around, scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. And then, out of nowhere, a figure materialized before him. It was a mysterious ghostly shinobi, their form ethereal and enigmatic. Naruto's hand instinctively went to the hilt of his kunai, his senses on high alert. "Who are you?" Naruto demanded, his voice steady despite his unease. The ghostly figure regarded him with an inscrutable gaze. "I am but a fleeting echo of the past, a whisper in the winds of time." Naruto's brow furrowed. "What do you want?" The figure's voice took on a somber tone. "I have come with a warning, Naruto Uzumaki. The path you tread is fraught with danger and uncertainty. The choices you make will shape the destiny of the world." Naruto's heart raced as he listened to the cryptic words. "What do you mean?" "Dark forces gather and shadows loom on the horizon," the figure continued. "You must be vigilant, for the challenges you will face are greater than you can imagine. Trust in your strength, but also in the bonds you have forged." Naruto felt a mixture of determination and anxiety welling up within him. "I won't back down from any challenge. I'll protect my village and my friends, no matter what." The ghostly shinobi nodded, their form flickering slightly. "Remember, the choices you make in the coming days will shape the future. Be cautious and be prepared." Before Naruto could respond, the figure began to fade, its form dissolving into the night. As quickly as it had appeared, it was gone, leaving Naruto standing alone in the darkness. Team Naruto assemble. Naruto's heart sank as he stood before the Hokage's desk, absorbing the grave news. Sasuke, his teammate and friend, had left the village to meet with Orochimaru, a dangerous and treacherous path. The weight of the situation bore down on him, and he knew that decisive action was needed. Hokage Sarutobi's voice was stern as he addressed Naruto. "Naruto, I trust your judgment. As a newly promoted chunin, you have the responsibility of assembling a team to retrieve Sasuke. Time is of the essence." Naruto's mind raced, his thoughts a whirlwind of emotions. He had to act quickly, choose his teammates wisely, and devise a plan to bring Sasuke back before it was too late. Naruto nodded, determination etched into his features. "I understand, Hokage-sama. I'll assemble a team and bring Sasuke back, no matter what." The Hokage's expression softened, pride evident in his eyes. "I have faith in you, Naruto. Choose your team wisely and set out as soon as possible. The fate of Sasuke and the village rests in your hands." But the sense of urgency, Naruto saluted and turned to leave the Hokage's office. As he stepped out into the sunlight, his mind raced, thoughts of the impending mission and the difficult decisions ahead weighing heavily on his shoulders. He knew that he couldn't do this alone. He needed skilled and reliable comrades by his side. With a determined look, Naruto's thoughts turned to the friends and allies he had forged during his journey, individuals who had proven their loyalty and strength. Naruto's determination led him to search for Tenten, hoping that she would join him on this crucial mission. As he moved through the village, his path unexpectedly crossed with Neji, a skilled and strategic ninja in his own right. Seizing the opportunity, Naruto quickly explained the dire situation and his plan to assemble a team to retrieve Sasuke. "Neji, we don't have much time. Sasuke has gone rogue and is on his way to meet Orochimaru. I need someone as sharp and strategic as you on this mission," Naruto implored, his eyes reflecting the urgency of the situation. Neji's expression shifted, his usual calm demeanor giving way to a steely resolve. "I understand the gravity of the situation, Naruto. I will join your team and help bring Sasuke back. Let's find Tenten and gather the rest of the team." Naruto's relief was palpable. "Thanks, Neji. Let's hurry and find Tenten, and then we can round up the others. We don't have much time to spare." Naruto's urgency led him and Neji to swiftly locate Tenten, Choji, and Shino, gathering them to form a team of 5 determined ninja. As they found each member, Naruto took a moment to have a conversation with them, conveying the gravity of the situation and his unwavering determination. Naruto found Tenten in a quiet corner of the village, her focus centered on practicing her weapon skills. Approaching her with a sense of urgency, Naruto spoke. "Tenten, we've got a critical mission. Sasuke has gone rogue and is headed to meet Orochimaru. We need you on this team to bring him back." Tenten paused, her eyes meeting Naruto's. After a moment of contemplation, she nodded firmly. "I'm in, Naruto. We can't let Sasuke fall into Orochimaru's hands. Count me in." Choji was spotted enjoying a meal at a local food stall. Naruto approached him, his expression grave. "Choji, we've got a big problem. Sasuke is leaving the village to meet Orochimaru. We need your strength on our team to bring him back." Choji swallowed a bite of food, his demeanor shifting from carefree to resolute. "You can count on me, Naruto. I won't let Sasuke make a mistake he'll regret." Naruto located Shino while he was observing a group of insects. Stepping closer, Naruto addressed him. "Shino, we've got an urgent mission. Sasuke is heading to Orochimaru and we need your abilities to track him down." Shino's gaze met Naruto's, his tone measured as he replied, "I understand the severity of the situation. I'll contribute my skills to the mission." Gathered at the main gate, Naruto and his team of Neji, Tenten, Choji, and Shino stood ready, each equipped with their respective supplies and weapons. The urgency of their mission hung in the air as they finalized their strategy. Naruto addressed the group, his tone serious yet determined. "Alright, everyone, here's the plan. We know Sasuke's headed to meet Orochimaru, and we're behind. We need to move fast and efficiently. Neji, you take point and use your Byakugan to scout ahead. Tenten, Choji, and Shino, you'll form a protective circle around Neji. Shino, your insects can help with tracking, and Choji, you provide defense. I'll stay at the back, ready to back you all up if needed." Neji nodded, acknowledging his role. "Understood, Naruto. I'll maintain a wide field of vision and alert you of any signs of Sasuke." Tenten and Choji both gave determined nods, ready to fulfill their responsibilities. Shino's insects buzzed in agreement, a silent affirmation of his readiness. Naruto's eyes met each of his team members, his determination shining through. "We might be behind, but we can catch up if we work together and stay focused. Let's bring Sasuke back, no matter what." With their formation set and their mission clear, the team set off, the urgency of the situation driving them forward. They moved swiftly, their determination and resolve propelling them on their path to intercept Sasuke before it was too late. As Naruto and his team moved swiftly through the terrain, there was an undeniable sense of urgency driving their every step. Time was of the essence, and they couldn't afford to waste a single moment. The atmosphere was tense, yet each member of the team remained focused and determined, fully aware of the gravity of the mission they were undertaking. Naruto's mind raced as he led the group, his instincts and training kicking in. Doubts were pushed aside, replaced by a steadfast determination to see the mission through. He couldn't afford to second-guess himself now, his team was depending on him to make quick and effective decisions. Neji's Byakugan eyes scanned the surroundings, his gaze sharp and unwavering. Tenten's hands gripped her weapons tightly, ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. Choji moved with surprising agility for his size, his defensive posture ready to shield his teammates. Shino's insects buzzed around, providing valuable information and tracking Sasuke's trail. Communication between the team was efficient and concise. Naruto's orders were clear, and each member executed their roles with precision. There was a synchronicity to their movements, a shared understanding that they needed to give it their all to catch up to Sasuke. The passing landscape became a blur as the team pressed forward, their determination propelling them forward like a hurricane. Doubts and fears were buried beneath a veneer of confidence, and Naruto knew that his role as a leader required him to keep his emotions in check. As the team continued their determined pursuit of Sasuke, Neji's voice cut through the tense atmosphere. "Naruto, I've been monitoring Sasuke's chakra signature. Based on the direction and intensity of his presence, I believe we're closing in on his location. He's still ahead of us, but not too far." Naruto nodded, his mind racing as he considered their options. "We can't take all of them head-on. We have to find a way to intercept Sasuke without getting caught up in a full-blown fight." Shino chimed in, his voice calm and calculated. "I have an idea. I can deploy my tracking bugs to gather more detailed information about their movements and positions. This will give us an advantage in planning our approach." Naruto's eyes brightened at the suggestion. "Good call, Shino. Let's do that. We need every advantage we can get." As the team implemented Shino's plan, their movements became even more deliberate. Naruto's heart raced as they drew closer to their quarry, the tension in the air growing palpable. However, their concentration was suddenly shattered as the ground trembled beneath them and the earth itself seemed to come alive. An imposing figure emerged from the shadows. Germ, a formidable opponent known for his earth manipulation jutsu. The ground around them shifted and contorted, threatening to ensnare them all. Naruto's mind raced, and he quickly assessed the situation. They were caught in an ambush, and their options were limited. He turned to his team, his voice firm. "We can't afford to get bogged down here. We need to keep moving forward. Choji, we're going to need you to hold him off. We'll find Sasuke." Choji's expression was resolute as he nodded. "I've got this, Naruto. You guys go after Sasuke." As the rest of the team moved forward, Choji stepped up to face Germ, determination burning in his eyes. Naruto knew that Choji's sacrifice was essential to their mission's success, and he couldn't afford to let doubt or hesitation cloud his judgment now. As Naruto and his remaining team members closed in on Sasuke's location, a tense silence hung in the air. The weight of their mission and the sacrifices they were making weighed heavily on their minds. Just when they thought they had gained the upper hand and caught sight of Sasuke, their progress was once again impeded. Kidomaru, a skilled archer and a member of Sasuke's group, emerged from the shadows, his attacks raining down upon them with deadly accuracy. Neji, ever vigilant, moved with precision, using his Byakugan to anticipate Kidomaru's movements and deflect his attacks. With a determined gaze, Neji turned to Naruto, his voice unwavering. "Naruto, we can't afford to get bogged down here. I'll handle Kidomaru. You and the others need to press on and go after Sasuke." Naruto's resolve was clear as he nodded, trusting Neji's judgment. "You've got this, Neji. We'll handle Sasuke." But the final nod, Neji focused his attention on Kidomaru, engaging in a fierce battle of wits and skills. Naruto, Tenten, and Shino moved forward, their determination renewed as they pushed through the obstacles that stood between them and their goal. As they continued their pursuit, Naruto couldn't help but steal a glance back at Neji, who was locked in a battle of his own. He felt a mix of emotions: admiration for Neji's strength and resolve, concern for his well-being, and a renewed determination to bring Sasuke back. As the team pressed forward, leaving behind Neji to face Kidomaru, the weight of their individual sacrifices weighed heavily on Naruto's mind. He knew that each decision came with its own set of emotions, doubts, and worries, but he also understood the urgency of their mission. For now, he focused on the task at hand, pushing those thoughts to the back of his mind. Shino's voice broke through Naruto's contemplation, drawing his attention to the present moment. "I've been tracking the sound shinobi and the barrel that holds Sasuke. I have an idea for how we can outmaneuver them and retrieve Sasuke." Naruto's eyes lit up with curiosity and anticipation. "Tell us your plan, Shino." Shino explained his strategy, detailing how they could use his tracking bugs to create a diversion and confuse the sound shinobi. With their attention diverted, they could move in swiftly and secure the barrel containing Sasuke. It was a risky plan, but it held the potential to catch their enemies off guard and give them the upper hand. Naruto nodded, his determination resolute. "That could work. Let's give it a shot. We need to bring Sasuke back." Tenten and Shino exchanged glances, their agreement evident. With their plan in place, the team moved with purpose, following Shino's guidance as they deployed his tracking bugs strategically to create a web of confusion. As the bugs went to work, the sound shinobi found themselves disoriented and unable to discern the team's true movements. Taking advantage of the chaos, Naruto, Tenten, and Shino moved swiftly and with precision. They closed in on the barrel, their determination unwavering. With a synchronized effort, they managed to retrieve the barrel, securing their prized objective. The feeling of success surged through Naruto, mingling with the knowledge that they were one step closer to bringing Sasuke back to Konoha. But as the dust settled and their adversaries regrouped, Naruto couldn't help but feel a pang of concern for Neji, who was still engaged in his battle with Kidomaru. However, for now, their focus remained on the task at hand, bringing Sasuke home and fulfilling their mission. As the team began their journey back to the village, Shino's words held a sense of urgency and caution. Naruto listened intently as Shino informed him of their pursuers and his plan to split up the remaining sound ninja who were tracking them. "Naruto," Shino said, his tone serious, "we're being tracked. I've been monitoring their movements and I believe we have an opportunity to split them up. It's a risky move, but it might give you a chance to escape with Sasuke while I handle the pursuit." Naruto's brows furrowed as he processed Shino's words. The gravity of the situation was not lost on him and he knew that every decision could make a difference. He glanced at Shino, his gaze steady. "What's your plan?" Shino explained his strategy, outlining how he would lead one of the sound ninja away from Naruto and the others, allowing them to create a gap between their pursuers. He emphasized the importance of timing and coordination, as well as the need for Naruto to remain vigilant and focused on their objective. Naruto nodded, a mixture of determination and gratitude in his eyes. "Shino, this is risky, but I trust your judgment. You've got this. We'll meet back in the village, all of us." Shino offered a small nod, a hint of a rare smile tugging at the corner of his lips. "Good luck, Naruto. Bring Sasuke back." With a firm handshake and a determined look, the two friends parted ways. Naruto watched as Shino faded into the surrounding landscape, his step silent and purposeful. As Shino led one of the sound ninja away, Naruto turned his attention back to the path ahead, his heart set on the mission that lay before him. Naruto's heart raced as he faced the two sound ninja who had intercepted him, Taiya and Kimameru. The urgency of the situation surged through him, and his thoughts raced as he assessed their predicament. He exchanged tense glances with Tenten, and for a brief moment, their eyes met, conveying unspoken understanding. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, Tenten's voice cut through the tension. "Naruto," she began, her tone firm yet compassionate, "I'll take care of Taiya. You need to go after Sasuke." Naruto's gaze shifted to Tenten, his concern evident in his eyes. "Tenten, I can't just leave you here. We're a team." Tenten's expression softened, and she placed a reassuring hand on Naruto's shoulder. "Listen, Naruto, I believe in you. We all do. This is part of the mission, and you need to keep going. Sasuke needs you, and I'll hold my own here. Besides," she added, a playful glint in her eyes, "you owe me a nice date after this, remember?" A small smile tugged at the corner of Naruto's lips as he processed Tenten's words. Despite the gravity of the situation, her confidence and determination uplifted him. He understood the weight of her sacrifice and her unwavering trust in him. "You're right, Tenten," Naruto said, his voice tinged with gratitude and determination. "I'll save Sasuke and then we'll all have that date you deserve." With a final nod and a determined look, Naruto turned away from Tenten and faced the path ahead. He knew he had to press on to fulfill his mission and bring Sasuke back. As he ran toward his destination, the sound of battle echoed behind him, a testament to his comrades' unwavering resolve. Determined and resolute, Naruto pressed forward through the fields of swaying grass. His friend's sacrifices weighed on his mind, driving him to confront the sound ninja who stood before him. Kimimaro, an ominous presence, radiated danger, and Naruto knew he had to approach this fight with caution. As the wind rustled the grass around them, Naruto swiftly formed a series of shadow clones, sending them charging toward Kimimaro with a flurry of attacks. However, it became evident that their opponent was not to be underestimated. Kimimaru's movements were fluid and precise, his defenses impervious to the onslaught of clones. The clash of fists and blades filled the air, creating a whirlwind of motion and intensity. Naruto's thoughts raced as he analyzed his opponent's skills. Kimimaru's strength and agility were formidable, and he wielded his bone-based jutsu with deadly accuracy. Naruto knew that he had to find a way to exploit any openings and weaknesses in Kimimaru's defense. As the battle raged on, Naruto's determination blazed within him. He adapted his strategy, using his speed and agility to dodge Kimimaru's bone attacks while launching his own counterattacks. He weaved through the grassy terrain, his movements calculated and precise. Despite the fierce exchange of blows, the fight had only just begun. Naruto could feel the weight of his friend's hopes and trust resting upon his shoulders. Each strike and every decision he made held the potential to tip the scales in their favor. With every ounce of his being, Naruto vowed to give it his all to save Sasuke and honor the sacrifices of his comrades. Amidst the intense battle with Kimimaru, Naruto's focus was unwavering. He analyzed his opponent's moves, seeking any opportunity to gain the upper hand. Just as the clash reached its peak, a sudden movement caught his attention, a figure emerging from the barrel. It was Sasuke. Naruto's heart skipped a beat, his resolve strengthening even further. But before he could react, Sasuke swiftly darted in another direction, disappearing from sight. Frustration surged through Naruto. He couldn't afford to let Sasuke slip away again. He had come so far, endured so much, and he couldn't let his friend vanish once more. Yet, as he prepared to give chase, an unexpected presence intervened, the energetic and determined Rock Lee. With a powerful blow, Lee sent Kimimaru reeling, creating a momentary respite in the battle. Naruto, baffled by Lee's sudden appearance, turned to him with a mix of surprise and relief. "Lee, what are you doing here?" Naruto demanded, his voice tinged with urgency. Lee, sweat glistening on his brow, caught his breath before responding with unwavering resolve. "I am here as official backup, Naruto." Naruto's eyes widened in disbelief, his heart stirring at Lee's declaration. Lee's fierce determination was contagious, his spirit radiating an unyielding loyalty to friendship. Lee's gaze met Naruto's, and he delivered an impassioned speech that echoed through the field of battle. "Naruto, the bonds of friendship are unbreakable. We can't abandon our comrades, no matter what. Sasuke is your friend, your teammate. You can't give up on him." The weight of Lee's words resonated within Naruto's soul. It was a reminder of the unbreakable ties that bound them together as a team. Naruto's determination surged anew, his doubts and worries melting away. He nodded, his resolve solidifying. "You're right, Lee. I can't give up on Sasuke. I won't," Naruto exclaimed, his voice ringing with conviction. With renewed purpose, Naruto turned his attention back to the battle, his determination fueling his every move. Beside him, Rock Lee stood as a symbol of unwavering friendship, a beacon of support and strength. As the clash continued, Naruto fought with a renewed spirit, driven by the bonds of camaraderie that had carried them this far. The wind carried the echoes of their battle cries, the clash of their wills against their adversaries. With Rock Lee by his side and the memory of his friend's sacrifices guiding him, Naruto pressed forward with a newfound determination, ready to face whatever challenges awaited him in pursuit of his cherished friend, Sasuke. Naruto raced forward, Lee's unwavering determination buying him the precious moments he needed. The pounding of his heart matched the rhythm of his footsteps as he closed the distance between himself and Sasuke. Finally, he arrived at the iconic Valley of the End, the very place where their fates had collided once before. There stood Sasuke, his gaze fixed on Naruto with an intensity that sent a shiver down Naruto's spine. The tension in the air was palpable, each heartbeat echoing the gravity of their confrontation. Sasuke Naruto's voice carried a mixture of determination and pleading, a reflection of the emotions swirling within him. Sasuke's eyes narrowed, his expression unyielding. "Naruto," he responded, his tone devoid of any warmth or familiarity. Their silence spoke volumes, an unspoken exchange of feelings and memories that spanned their years together. Naruto's grip on his kunai tightened, his resolve solidifying. He couldn't let Sasuke walk this path of darkness alone. "Listen to me, Sasuke," Naruto's voice held a note of urgency. "I won't let you go through with this. You're my friend, my teammate. We've been through so much together." Sasuke's gaze remained unflinching, but a flicker of uncertainty danced within his eyes. "Friend. Teammate." Naruto, you're naive if you think that changes anything. I've made my decision. Naruto's fists clenched at his sides, his determination unwavering. I won't let you make the wrong choice. We're not giving up on you. We're family. A tense silence settled over them, the wind carrying their words away into the abyss of the valley. Then, in an instant, the world seemed to explode into motion. Naruto and Sasuke lunged at each other, their movements fluid and precise. The clash of their attacks reverberated through the air, kunai meeting katana in a symphony of steel. Each strike held the weight of their shared history, a testament to the strength of their bond and the intensity of their conflict. As the battle raged on, their words became weapons, traded blows punctuated by impassioned declarations. Naruto poured his heart into each attack, driven by an unwavering belief that he could reach Sasuke's heart. You're not alone, Sasuke. We're all here for you. Naruto shouted as he deflected a strike. Sasuke's voice remained firm, his determination unshaken. I have to do this, Naruto. I can't let myself be swayed. Naruto's eyes blazed with determination, his voice fierce as he pressed forward. You can't shut yourself off from everyone who cares about you. You're not alone, and we're not letting you go down this path. Their clash continued with an intensity that matched the emotions coursing through them. Naruto's determination was a burning fire, propelling him forward with every strike, while Sasuke's resolve remained unyielding, his skill and power pushing Naruto to his limits. Naruto's kunai clashed with Sasuke's chidori, sparks flying as their energies collided. Naruto's heart raced as he felt a surge of chakra from Sasuke, a dark aura enveloping him. The curse seal. Sasuke's features contorted as the curse seal took hold, his strength and speed increasing exponentially. Naruto gritted his teeth, his focus sharpening as he met Sasuke's newfound power head-on. Their movements became a blur, kunai and shuriken flying through the air as they danced across the battlefield. Naruto's determination was unshakable, his will to bring Sasuke back stronger than ever. Sasuke, don't let the darkness consume you. Naruto shouted, his voice carrying a mix of concern and urgency. Sasuke's eyes burned with a dangerous intensity, his response cold and determined. I'll do whatever it takes to gain the power I need. I won't be held back by sentimentality. Their attacks grew more ferocious, each strike a testament to the depth of their bond and the conflict tearing at their hearts. Naruto's determination pushed him to his limits, refusing to back down, even as Sasuke's curse seal gave him an edge. Naruto's breath came in ragged gasps as he fought to keep up with Sasuke's heightened speed and power. He could feel the weight of their shared past, the memories of their time together, driving him forward. As their battle raged on, Naruto's thoughts raced. He had to find a way to break through to Sasuke, to reach the friend he knew was still in there. His determination burned brighter than ever, a beacon of hope in the midst of the darkness that threatened to consume Sasuke. The curse seal level 2 had transformed Sasuke, his features twisted in a way that was both chilling and heartbreaking. Naruto's heart ached at the sight, but he refused to falter. He would bring Sasuke back, no matter the cost. As the battle reached its peak, Naruto found himself pushed to the brink. Sasuke's relentless assault had driven him back, and a powerful kick sent him hurtling into the water below. Desperation gripped Naruto, and he knew he had to do something drastic to turn the tide of the fight. Drawing upon every ounce of his strength, Naruto tapped into the chakra of the 9 tails within him, a wild and untamed power surging through his veins. But that wasn't all. In a reckless gamble, he pushed himself further, unlocking the first through fourth gates, a technique that unleashed his hidden potential with immense consequences. A surge of energy coursed through Naruto, and he felt his body become a force to be reckoned with. The tables turned, and he engaged Sasuke with an intensity that matched his opponent's. Their clash was like a whirlwind of ferocity and determination, the very earth trembling beneath their feet. Naruto's attacks were swift and powerful, each strike resonating with the combined might of the 9 tails chakra and the gates. Sasuke was caught off guard, forced to defend against the onslaught. Naruto pressed forward, gaining the upper hand with every move he made. But as the battle raged on, the toll of his reckless actions began to take its toll. The strain on Naruto's body and chakra reserves became increasingly evident. The overwhelming power he had unleashed now threatened to consume him from within. In a climactic clash, Naruto and Sasuke met head-on, their forces colliding with a deafening roar. Naruto's determination blazed like a beacon, but the effects of the gates and the chakra within him started to overwhelm his senses. The ground shook, and for a moment, it seemed as though Naruto had gained the upper hand. But Sasuke, driven by his own unyielding resolve, summoned a final burst of strength. With a fierce determination, he managed to outmaneuver Naruto, their clash ending with a devastating impact. Naruto's consciousness wavered, and in the end, Sasuke emerged victorious. Sasuke stood over the fallen Naruto, his chest heaving with exhaustion and conflicted emotions. He had won the battle, but the sight of his friend lying defeated before him weighed heavily on his heart. Without a word, Sasuke turned and made his escape, leaving Naruto unconscious on the ground. As the dust settled and the echoes of their clash faded, the Valley of the End remained a silent witness to the bonds of friendship and the sacrifices made in the pursuit of one's goals. Naruto lay still, his breath shallow, a testament to the lengths he was willing to go for the sake of his friend. Aftermath Part 1. Ai and Kakashi arrived at the Valley of the End, their footsteps echoing in the aftermath of the fierce battle that had taken place there. Their expressions were a mix of concern and regret as they surveyed the scene before them. Naruto lay unconscious on the ground, his body battered and bruised from the intense fight he had just endured. Kakashi's single visible eye narrowed as he looked down at Naruto. This battle, it was inevitable, wasn't it? Our mistakes, my mistakes, have brought us to this point. Ai's expression was somber, his usual exuberance tempered by the gravity of the situation. Yes, Kakashi, we all share in the responsibility for this. We underestimated the depths of Sasuke's resolve and the darkness that consumed him. Perhaps if we had acted differently, if we had reached out more, things might have turned out differently. Kakashi let out a sigh, his gaze shifting to the horizon. Naruto's determination, it's both his strength and his weakness. He's willing to sacrifice everything for the bonds he holds dear, even if it means pushing himself beyond his limits. Ai nodded, his gaze never leaving Naruto's unconscious form. He reminds me so much of you, Kakashi. That unwavering determination to protect his friends, to carry the weight of the past on his shoulders. A heavy silence settled between the two jounin, the weight of their decisions and actions weighing heavily upon them. Naruto's struggles and sacrifices had brought them to this point, and now he lay before them, battered and defeated. We need to bring Naruto back, Kakashi said, his voice filled with a renewed determination. We owe it to him and to ourselves to make things right. I placed a hand on Kakashi's shoulder, offering a supportive squeeze. You're right, my friend. We can't let this be the end. Naruto's journey is far from over, and as his mentors, we must guide him back to the path of light. Together, they lifted Naruto's unconscious form, a silent promise in their hearts to rectify their mistakes and bring their young student and friend back from the brink. The Valley of the End stood witness to their resolve, a testament to the unbreakable bonds that had been forged through trials and tribulations. The aftermath of the battles left a somber atmosphere in the Hidden Leaf Village's medical facility. Choji and Neji lay in the intensive care unit, their injuries a stark reminder of the high stakes of their mission. Medical ninja and Sand Village healers worked tirelessly to stabilize them, their expertise focused on bringing the wounded back from the brink. Tenten, though injured, displayed her usual resilience as she lay in a recovery room. Her determination to protect her comrades had been unwavering, and now she bore the physical toll of that commitment. Shino, despite his minimal injuries, had been meticulously checked over by the medics to ensure there were no hidden complications. His stoic demeanor remained unchanged as he patiently endured the examination. Lee's boisterous spirit filled the air as he moved about, a testament to his indomitable will and the strength he had displayed in his battle. The Sand Village's timely assistance had contributed to his swift recovery. Naruto's absence was palpable, his absence keenly felt by his teammates and friends. The village buzzed with rumors and worry, each member of the Hidden Leaf community united in their concern for the young ninja who had embarked on such a dangerous mission. In the midst of the uncertainty, Guy and Kakashi stood resolute. Their eyes, filled with determination, reflected the shared determination of the village as a whole. They would not let their comrades' sacrifices be in vain, they would fight to bring Naruto back and ensure a brighter future for all. As the medical facility bustled with activity, the unspoken bonds of friendship and camaraderie shone through. The road to recovery would be arduous, but with the unwavering support of their friends and allies, the wounded would rise once more, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And so, with Naruto in their arms, Guy and Kakashi began their journey back to Konoha, a journey that would be fraught with challenges, but one they were determined to face head-on. In a quiet corner of the Hidden Leaf Village, Jiraiya, Guy, and Kakashi gathered to discuss their plans for when Naruto eventually woke up from his battle-induced slumber. The weight of the situation hung heavy in the air, but their resolve remained unshaken. I believe the most crucial thing right now is Naruto's emotional well-being, Jiraiya began, his eyes reflecting a mix of concern and determination. He's always been driven by his emotions, and this ordeal will undoubtedly have a profound impact on him. I nodded in agreement. Indeed, Jiraiya. We must ensure that he doesn't feel alone in this struggle. His friends, his village, we need to rally around him and let him know that we're here for him no matter what. Kakashi, his single visible eye focused and serious, chimed in. And we mustn't shy away from addressing his feelings regarding Sasuke. Naruto's attachment to Sasuke runs deep, and we can't ignore the emotional weight of their history. Jiraiya sighed, running a hand through his hair. It won't be easy, but we have to find a way to guide him toward a healthy mindset. Naruto has grown so much, and this could be a turning point for him, either positive or negative. Ai's fervent gaze intensified. I believe in his strength and his capacity to overcome any obstacle. We must remind him of his growth, his achievements, and his potential. Kakashi's gaze softened, his visible eye narrowing thoughtfully. We should also be prepared to answer his questions about what transpired. The truth is necessary, even if it's painful. We can't keep him in the dark. The three of them fell into a contemplative silence, each lost in their thoughts as they considered the path ahead for their young comrade. In the end, their unwavering support for Naruto was clear. No matter the challenges that lay before him, he would not face them alone. We've always believed in Naruto's ability to inspire change, Jiraiya said with a determined glint in his eye. This is another chance for him to rise above, to prove himself not only as a ninja, but as a person. The eye's trademark grin returned, brimming with optimism. Let's channel our youthful energy into supporting him, guiding him, and helping him find his way forward. Kakashi's eye crinkled into a smile, hidden beneath his mask. Agreed. We're his mentors, his friends, and we owe it to him to be there when he needs us most. And so, with their plans laid out and their determination firm, the trio of respected ninja resolved to provide Naruto with the unwavering support, guidance, and strength he would need to face the challenges that lay ahead. What if Naruto trained by Might Guy for chunin exams? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.